go. All righty. Citizens of the Reject Nation, you know what time it is. If we're here talking to you now, there's only one thing we want to know. And that's, can you hear us? Leave it in the chat, people. Can you hear the words? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
I understood that reference, John.
Hey, I see that we're live. Christian Unpronounceable, how's it going? Jester Foe, hello, Kevin Shepard, the Shepherd of Fire. I'm sorry to interrupt your wrestling. Really apologize for that. Andrew Blackthorn could do no wrong.
Thank you.
I'm going to assume from all this that you can hear us. So, guys, welcome. Happy Saturday afternoon now to you. And, hey, it's time to talk the movie news of the week. But before we do that, it's a momentous occasion because today I am joined by, you may know him as the Andjin. You might know him as Andrushige.
Ooh,
you might know
I like
him
that one, John.
as Lord Gordonaga.
Hey,
It's Andrew Gordon.
What's up, guys? I'm so happy to be here with you on the live stream. Thank you.
Yes.
Let us know which of those three you like.
My
I
man.
like Andrushige. That probably is my favorite, but you let us know in the comments.
Andrushige, I am
You let us
proud
know.
of.
Yes,
I'm
that
proud
is
of.
good. John is so good on improv. But yeah, I'm
It's
excited to talk about all the movie news and just interact with you in general. Excited to be here, John. Thank you.
I'm excited to have you. This was so fun. Like, when I saw on the schedule, I was like, oh, snap, we're mixing it up a little. We're bringing some new blood onto the stream. Is this your first live stream?
Oh, no.
You've done some before.
I've done Last of Us live stream.
That's
not
right.
Sure,
That's right. All right.
done any others before that, but
It's all good. This is going to be, the proving ground for your knowledge of the current events of the week. But guys, just before we hop into this, we got some stories to talk about. Obviously, you've seen the thumbnail, but we are here, and we appreciate you guys for being here because you guys drive the stream. And we appreciate your feedback and your enthusiasm every week. Thank you first off, thank you to everybody who came in last week, contributed, drove the conversation. It's really you guys who drive the conversation. We have our headline topics, but the most fun part of these streams is getting into what you guys want to hear about specifically. So if anybody has their thoughts, their opinions they want to throw out, burning questions you want to ask, feel free to throw them our way. As always, we never end a stream without answering all of the Super Chat and Streamlab contributions. So if you are so inclined to support in that fashion and you have something you want us to talk about in particular, that's the way to do it. There are links. There's a link to the Streamlabs, which they remove a little less than YouTube does, so that's a nice thing. But really, any place you feel inclined to contribute to the conversation is very much appreciated. And I can't wait to hop into this as well. Just leave a like on the video. Replay value on these things isn't always amazing. YouTube doesn't always recommend them the way they would a normal video, and we love doing these live streams with you guys. Just stoke that flame, and we will get going here in just a mo. But yeah, first and foremost, just what's up, everyone? Ray Mullins, how's it going? Mr. G, Dalton Meadsmith, what a name, man! That sounds like you're in some kind of Game of Thrones or something like that. But yeah, I guess we should hop into some movie news right off the bat.
Let us do it,
we've got a handful of stories, and it's been a record-breaking week for Deadpool and Wolverine.
John, you bring this up to me.
I'm sorry, Andrew.
Hey, but the good news is,
Andrew.
even though I'm going to be accused, as I always mentioned to you guys, the cat's out of the bag now with how I just reacted to you. I'm going to be reacting to that film for you. I know you're always saying, how are you going to resist? How are you going to avoid spoilers? That's going to be the fun, tricky part for me. I'm going to be reacting to that film for you guys. I am saddened I will not be seeing it in theaters with the crowds. But yeah, that's going to be fun. Staying away from spoilers. But yeah,
there aren't going to be any spoilers.
No
for this
spoilers
movie.
for that movie at all. None. So, but yeah, I'm very glad to see that. I was expecting that though. I mean, the hype is real, and the trailers have been awesome as we've gotten to see them. Check them out if you haven't.
Absolutely,
yes.
as you have. And from what we're at least reported, there aren't actually like hard numbers for this, but the at least initial reports are that as of Monday, they've taken in about $8 to $9 million worth of pre-orders, which is among the highest ever
for an R-rated film, right?
For an R-rated film on its first day of pre-sales. Noramac, thank you so much for jumping in, kicking off the Streamlabs.
Appreciate you.
We're gonna cover these headline stories here up at the top, but we will definitely be hopping into the super chats ASAP. So thank you for stoking that fire and for that lovely sticker. I love when they show up in the chat that way. It's it's just a nice little bit of encouragement. It's a nice preview for what's to come. So heck yeah. Hey, looking out. Sorry, I'm just calibrating. Every time we jump into a stream, I need like a second to calibrate my ADD brain to the multiple stimuli. But yeah, it says here some 200,000 movie fans bought their AMC tickets. So this is at least as of AMC's sales report.
Right. No, it's incredible, especially for an R-rated film too. I mean, if the film was rated PG-13, I mean, it's not a precedent that's being set, but it's still incredible numbers. But for an R-rated film, that's unbelievable.
Absolutely, yeah. And I mean, these Deadpool movies all seem to... Christian, thank you for jumping in as well.
Thank you so much.
We'll jump on that ASAP. But yeah, this movie is going to be fascinating to watch, especially in a time where the conversation has been so driven by the fact that movies, especially some big, blockbuster fare as of recent, has not been performing well. I haven't seen The Fall Guy yet, but my condolences. As I understand, it is a delight and deserves to be making that money. But I have a feeling. I mean, the big question is like, will Deadpool and Wolverine break the the $1 billion club and join Joker as the only R-rated $1 billion grossing movie? So
if it's as good as I think it's going to be, which again I have a feeling it will be, I have a slight suspicion it will break that $1 billion barrier as well as Joker, in my opinion.
Definitely seems like a possibility and like a likelihood.
Yeah.
But we'll put it to you guys. Are you one of those 200,000 fans who got your tickets already? And
how about this too? What do you think it's going to make in the first weekend? Because for an R-rated film, like that's the fun part. Because I don't know. I'm thinking like, again, R-rated film. I'm thinking like in the 180, 85 million. It might even break that 200 million. I mean, I know that's tough, especially nowadays with streaming and all the other options. But this is an event film, and I mean, you got Deadpool and Wolverine. People have been begging to see this on screen for forever.
Since the dawn of man, they've been begging for this one movie.
So I don't know. I want to hear from you guys what your predictions are. But I don't know. I'm going like 185. I could see it going even above 185. But what do you think? First weekend.
I mean, now my only options are to like severely lowball it or really highball it. So I'm going $500 million opening weekend. Just get all that P&A budget out of the way first.
You're either going to look like a genius or a fool, but either way, I still love you, John.
That's the line I like to walk. Justin, thank you so much.
Appreciate
we will hop into the super chats pretty soon, and you've got at least a part of one of these headline topics in your comment here.
Yeah.
So yeah,
but I definitely do think it's going to break that $1 billion barrier as well as the other R-rated film Joker is in there. But do you think it's going to break $1 billion?
I have a feeling it probably. I would be surprised if it didn't, I guess is where I'm coming from right now. But yeah, leave it to you guys in the chat as well this week. In movie news, let's keep it going with the X-Men. Obviously, there's been a lot of rumbling about the new MCU X-Men movie finally bringing the mutants into the MCU proper. Obviously, there's the Fox stuff et al. But yeah, 2025 production is set to begin, and now apparently they are circling a writer at least, and the most prevalent name in that conversation. There have been a few names thrown around, but the one who has seemingly been at least the one who seems like they're most likely at the moment to get hired for the job is Michael Lesslie, who is most recently known for having written The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, the longest title in recent memory, which, we watched here on the channel. Go check that reaction out if you haven't seen it already, which, I mean, we enjoyed, and I feel like we might have enjoyed, Greg and I, a little more than the average audience. So this gives me some amount of hope. But how do you feel about this?
I have not seen it. I've actually heard. See, it's interesting you say that comment. I've actually heard from a lot of people they enjoyed that film. but I have not seen I did not
It's
see
pretty decent.
I did not see the Rotten Tomatoes. I also know he did the Michael Fassbender Macbeth. He wrote it, did not
You
direct.
faked me out on that one.
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
I know he wrote the Michael Fassbender Macbeth. So no, he's a very accomplished writer. I'm excited to see. Again, he's just doing the first draft, at least, right? That's what it looks like.
We'll see. I
yeah,
assume
so-
that these scripts go through a lot of hands.
Either way, after we got just X-Men '97, I'm just excited to get the get the X-Men in the MCU. It's about damn time, especially after
about damn time.
It's about time. Just excited to get the X-Men in the MCU. It's been a long time coming now, and obviously we got what we got in what's the damn show that I'm thinking of? Not the Marvels. What's the character in the Marvel? I'm having my senior moment.
Come
John. Give
on.
me-
Come on, your nerd credits on the line, Andrew.
Is it Miss Marvel?
Miss Marvel,
Thank you.
got
Thank
there.
you.
Got there.
Yes, in Miss Marvel, we got that moment at the end, of course. So from that moment, even before that, obviously, many of us have wanted to see the X-Men in the MCU, of course. But no, this is
take or leave it.
yeah, right. But no, also too, I'm looking forward to not trying to run back into Deadpool and Wolverine, but like that whole portal. I mean, you called it when we did trailer 2. Like, what are they really looking at? That's kind of
portal.
Yeah, that's kind of a.
It's
fake
gonna
out.
be a portal to the movie theater, and then Hugh Jackman
it's
and
a
Ryan
meta
Reynolds
moment.
in costume are gonna come into your movie. I've heard that Megalopolis has a component where like there's a live performer in the audience, so maybe they're gonna do something like that. Also, just real quick, big shouts out to the man Bucky Barnes ATL in the chat, our faithful moderator, the true. You are the right hand. It's his left hand, right? Which is his robot arm.
Oh damn!
When people flip images for thumbnails, it starts to confuse my braino.
I
But
think it's the right.
Bucky, either way, we appreciate you and thank you for popping in. What's up to you? I hope your day is going well so far. But yeah, it's interesting because I feel like the announcement of a writer and all the reports are using the phrase "in talks," so this could turn and become a different choice at any moment. Never lose your nerd. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're gonna be hopping into super chats pretty soon after we finish some of these headline tales. But yeah, I feel like this is an interesting choice because it doesn't inspire the most confidence in me, but it also doesn't inspire, dread either. I mean, the Hunger Games movie is certainly one that is attempting to swing for some big political messaging or at least some allegorical, we live in a society, dystopian sort of musings. And so I feel like those elements could bode well in a pedigree sense for, writing the X-Men because contrary to popular belief, the X-Men have always been something of a relevant tale to our times and the struggles therein.
Of course.
This guy has certainly his hits and his misses. I believe he also wrote the Michael Fassbender Assassin's Creed movie, which I understand was pretty terrible, but that
I never saw.
also could be due to various other factors. And also, we know that in the Hollywood studio game, what we see in a final cut of a big major studio film doesn't always represent the actual talent level and intent of many of the people involved, including oftentimes, in fact, the writer, I would imagine.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see what this guy can do, and hopefully it's a proving ground for, his real chops. We've seen a lot of interesting writers come through Marvel and either be allowed to shine or be sort of restricted. So it just comes down to the committee, I suppose.
Yeah, for sure. Not that this means anything, but we got to remember several writers are making pitches on a daily basis to Marvel Studios. So clearly Marvel at this point has loved his pitch. So curious to see what happens from here, but excited some news is actually happening on this front. I just want to see the X-Men in the MCU. It's finally.
Yeah, man, I do too. And hey, speaking of writing and pitches, I'm going to pitch that I do the thing I was supposed to do and start changing these graphics because James Gunn has been out there. Speaking of, we're switching over.
Why did you say that name?
I know. We're doing a hard
There you go, guys.
shift
There's
from-
my first movie reference.
That's right. Keep a counter.
And it was DC, too.
Take a drink every time Andrew references something or draws a tangential
I got to
link.
check my crotch, make sure my notes are right.
Yes, Andrew's always packing notes. But yeah, James Gunn has been out here on Threads of all places. I still got to get a Threads account. I barely use my Twitter account, and I still haven't started calling it X. But James Gunn's been out here talking about the Lanterns series, which was announced a long time ago, and we haven't heard much about. Are you?
I'm so excited.
looking
Yes,
forward to
I
it?
don't know if it's going to be good, but I'm excited to it. Just like the idea of a True Detectives type series. Also, too, like my idea of a great Lantern series, just because I'm a huge fan of Hal Jordan, and great having my moment. John Stewart, thank you so much.
Kyle Rayner?
Yeah, right. No,
Other Lanterns?
I love John Stewart just from the animated Justice League series. Such a huge fan. But the idea of like maybe a series like
I'm glad he's back on the Daily Show.
Yes,
too.
Riggs and Murtaugh. I'm thinking like a series like that in space. I want to see something to that effect. Lethal Weapon meets True Detective, something like to that effect with sick ass effects.
Too old for this time as a flat circle in space
Hey,
shit.
I do the reference series
Oh,
here, John.
sorry, I didn't mean to step.
Come on.
I didn't mean to step on your
It's all
expertise.
good.
Um,
But yeah, and I like Damon Lindelof. Did I say
Damon
that?
Lindelof is one of the names who's been thrown in.
And I just saw a film of his that Tara and I reacted to that I really enjoyed, World War Z, and I know it's hit or miss with people.
Dude,
that
your World War Z. If you guys haven't checked out that video, go look it up. It's a great reaction,
Yeah,
and
thank
also
you, I appreciate
like people really flocked to that. So
Yeah.
heck yeah.
I also think that was one of the coolest moments ever. How Tara flew back in her chair. That was awesome.
dude.
So unexpected too. But yeah,
Great
no,
moments.
I really enjoyed that film. I think he and also I did not see Lost, but I really enjoyed Star Trek Into Darkness. So I'm excited to see what he can do. When what was
like
the
Star
other?
Trek Into
Yeah, what was the other writer's name on there? Mike
Yes.
or Chris?
So it's a trio of people. You've
it's
got
a
your
trio.
Tom King, who is your like comics writer and I believe comic book writer, not I mean he might be an artist too. I always assume that comic book writers also have some kind of art background, but yeah, it's got Tom King on it as well as Damon Lindelof and what's his name, Chris Mundy, who is best known for I believe show running Ozark, which is a show many people have recommended to me, and I still have yet to check out. But especially, it's funny. Obviously, Tom King knows the comic book universe and is well versed to this property. But I think him as a fulcrum between Lindelof and what I know about Chris Mundy's pedigree makes a good amount of sense, because Ozark certainly is one of those, Breaking Bad-esque, or as it's been pitched to me, Breaking Bad-esque. Oh, thank you so much. Got another super coming in.
Charlie 836.
Yeah, looking
Thank you,
out.
Charlie,
Oh,
836.
Charlie, it's you with the lovely profile pic. Heck yeah. But yeah, the pedigree of these writers together seems promising, because obviously, Ozark carries some of that like personal character-driven crime drama sort of thing, which, not maybe quite as bleak as I've heard True Detective can be, but certainly that speaks to that, crime story side, that character-driven crime story side. And then with
Right.
David Lindelof, you have all the theoretical sci-fi and the more sort of broad swings on those terms.
Yep.
So I feel like, for the description of what they want, this seems like a pretty promising team.
And I think that'd be an interesting blend of those two genres. You know what I mean? So,
Oh, sure.
and then action adventure, of course. Like that'd be fun.
Absolutely.
But
Yeah,
now
and I mean, that's the thing, is you hear this, you hear the prospect, and I think it's easy to forget that, like, oh yeah, this probably is supposed to be and likely will be fun. In addition to being, probably, I always associate DC with being a little more, I don't know, dark.
Yeah, for
A
sure.
little
And also,
more-
too, I'm
yeah.
not really worried about how effects-wise it's going to look on a TV budget, because after watching, again, I haven't seen the whole show, but just seeing like the first season, at least 10 to 12 episodes of The Adventures of Superman and Lois, those are some of the most breathtaking visual effects I've ever seen for a show, a TV show, rather. I mean, it really looks cinematic. So I'm excited, because this is what it's supposed to be, right? This is TV show. Is that correct?
Yeah.
The Lantern. So, I mean, if they can do anything like they can do on that, visually speaking, like, I'm excited as well.
Absolutely, I am as well. Andrew, are you guys excited? And actually, somebody just pointed out, Ozark certainly is having a nice little superhero movie moment with Julia Garner also being cast in the MCU as a Silver Surfer. We don't know if it's the Silver Surfer or which Silver Surfer, but, they're going to be some kind of Silver Surfer, so that's fun. That's exciting. Let's see here. We got a little bit more to go for. We've got some rumors flying around. Look out now, Andrew. Before we hop out of comic book land,
Yes.
let's do one more. Oh, and of course, my graphic is the wrong format. But guys, listen up. Get ready, because the MCU Taylor's version could be headed your way. There have been lots of rumors as of late that Taylor Swift may have. I know, Andrew. I know.
We're gonna have a lot of Kansas City Chiefs fans here now.
Uh-oh. Yeah. Travis Kelce is joining the MCU.
He's gonna definitely have a cameo.
Those Kelce brothers are trying to be out here acting, so like I wouldn't put it past them at some point. But yes, Taylor Swift has been long rumored now for a potential MCU cameo in Deadpool and Wolverine. However, it seems as though there could be even more to that, with some recent speculation that she might be joining. Now, see, here's the funny thing: and this graphic is indicative of this. Up till now, a lot of the speculation is that she might be playing a character called Dazzler, and various there are a lot of conspiracy theories to support this, not only just her general look and physical presence and whatever else, but also some of her concert imagery that plays on the screens in the back has her with this eye makeup that certainly suggests the Dazzler character. Alison Blaire, the non-superhero identity name. But now reports have been updated to speculate that she might be joining Scarlett Johansson's Blonde Phantom series, which is based on a much more obscure character who I don't believe actually has Dazzler has superpowers and can shoot energy beams and stuff, whereas the Blonde Phantom,
no superpowers.
Yeah, no superpowers. Seems like much more of like a film noir femme fatale sort of character, which seems kind of neat and exciting, honestly.
And by the way, never lose your nerd. Thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate you so much. That's have you before I get into it, have we seen Taylor's? I'm excited, but I'm just asking, have you seen Taylor Swift act in anything at all, or just
in her music videos and things like that?
Well,
I haven't seen the Eras Tour movie. I don't know if they're like narrative interludes there, but I mean, I do know that she directs a lot of her stuff. And she certainly has a vested interest in filmmaking, and from all accounts, she is someone who's like very intent on shadowing directors and other things. So I haven't, obviously she spends so much of her time in front of cameras for what she does as a musician. I've associated her film endeavors more with directing, but this makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, no, she looks like the character just from especially the image we have right here.
She looks like Dazzler. I feel like, the let me pull up an image of the Blonde Phantom character.
Well,
obviously she would probably fit that too.
I did see Blonde Phantom earlier today, and she would look like Blonde Phantom as well. And I always say, of course, go for the best actor. I don't care who it is. So if they feel Taylor Swift would do a competent and great job, I'm all for it. It's going to get a ton of views and on streaming, so I'm for it. I think she would. I'm willing to give her a shot. I mean, we've seen wrestlers, we've seen singers, pop stars do a great job.
Name one wrestler who has made the transition.
Oh, I can't name any.
There's a Blonde Phantom pick, and so certainly suits this role as well. And actually, it's funny. I like both prospects. I mean, I don't know exactly if and how any of us are going to be able to lose her into a role, but if her chops are good enough, that might not matter and that might not be an issue. However, I feel like both of these prospects are interesting because Dazzler as a character plays so heavily into what she already does so well, is a very flashy, showy character, whereas the Blonde Phantom seems like it would be kind of a neat opportunity to see her in a slightly different light. And so I feel like Blonde Phantom just on face value to me says like, okay, we need a little more of those acting chops and we need a little more of the subtlety to be able to see past the Taylor, the massive, global superstarness of it all. But seeing her in a more grounded lane in something that looks like it could potentially be, I don't know what they're going to actually do, but it looks like it could potentially be a period piece.
I was just about to say, I am one of my favorite MCU films, which whether you agree or disagree, respect either way, but I love Captain America.
I don't respect anybody's opinion if it's not my own.
I love Captain America, the First Avenger,
I do too.
so much. So I'm all for.
I'm with you.
I'm all for a period piece streaming show. So if they want to do if they want to
They want to do something bland.
no,
All right,
I'm
open to
I
it.
am all for Blonde Phantom, and I think it'd be fun
for bland Phantom.
I think I think it would be fun to throw Taylor Swift in the in this. I was about to say throw her in the Swift, throw her in the mix. I think that'd be an interesting choice, and definitely, like I said, you'd get a crap ton of her fans viewing into the streams. Like that would be enormous levels of views in the streams.
That's the ultimate plan to fix Marvel's current, struggles to find their footing again. Is just get Taylor Swift.
Just get Taylor Swift in everything.
Will be
just get her to
easy
cameo
street.
in every movie too. From that point forward, you're gonna get so many, views and so many ticket sales just for her knowing that she's in there, whether it's a cameo or actual role in the film.
Yeah, I'll put it to you guys. I mean, would you be excited for Taylor Swift to join the MCU?
I'd give her a shot. I mean, I'm always willing to give someone a shot, and that's why I never judge. It's just like when when Heath Ledger was cast in as the Joker. I believe it was July.
Global pop sensation.
Yeah, I
Heath
believe
Ledger,
it was
yeah.
July. God rest his soul. I believe it was July 30th, 2006, when he was cast, and everyone was freaking out. Understandably so. Like I get it. Like Jack Nicholson was amazing as the Joker, but I said this. This was what I said that day. I trust Christopher Nolan, and I will judge what he does in the film after I see it. And same thing with Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
I will judge after I see if she really does get cast in the role. I will judge after I see the performance. I never judge pre.
Absolutely. I think that's a smart idea. And I mean, yeah, I am certainly curious as to how the prospect would work, but I'm always excited to see somebody give us, a fun surprise with something unexpected or something we didn't think they would, necessarily be. So, whenever somebody pops up in a place you wouldn't expect them and then they excel there, I am happy for that always. I feel like it would absolutely work to have her as a cameo in something because obviously, especially in a Deadpool Wolverine scenario, the nature of that is the madcap. Like, it's no matter who they make her, it's Taylor Swift.
Right.
Whereas, the prospect of her actually taking on, I believe Blonde Phantom may be geared as a series, and it's almost kind of reminding me now of like an Agent Carter type of.
I was thinking
potentially like an Agent Carter type of thing, and I don't know if they're going to go with period. Although I think it would be really cool to get some more period stuff in the MCU.
I mean, we really haven't had too many period things in the MCU, and I'm just a big fan of period personally. So I would love to do period piece.
And now, I mean, not like a full news story, but they have at Marvel, kind of rearranged their entertainment, their visual entertainment into new categories. So there are, I can't remember exactly what the names are off the top of my head, but they're now separated into Marvel, movies, Marvel TV, and Marvel animated. So I feel like too, they said they want to reduce the amount of overwhelm and homework people feel like they need to do. And I hope that maybe, and two, with the success of X-Men 97, the intense success of X-Men 97, which is explicitly to the side and off on its own little universe from the MCU, I feel like maybe this could make for a nice array of, we have some stuff that's really interconnected. We have other things that are just a la carte. And I feel like this could be a really cool a la carte.
And also on top of that, I love seeing characters I'm not very familiar with as well, and getting introduced to new characters. Like, of course, I always love characters I'm very familiar with, but seeing new characters and getting exposed and invested in something I'm not as enlightened with, like I think that's an interesting prospect as well. So if they do go this route and with Taylor Swift, I'd be really excited and fascinated to see what happens.
Absolutely, absolutely. So leave us your thoughts, guys. Do you want the MCU Taylor's version? Would you be down? Would you be excited? Would you not be excited? I also just like the idea of doing a superhero or a comic book style story that has a character who isn't powered but who still has to have some kind of secret identity balance. As I understand, she's often out there solving crimes and fighting fights and rescuing her boss and things like that without him knowing who she really is.
I was about to say that it's the Superman thing too. Like how does he not recognize who that is? But that's part of the fun and the charm of it.
Yeah, and it could give us a whole new view on her. So leave us your thoughts on that. We got one more headline story to touch on before we jump into your beautiful thoughts and opinions today.
We get to interact with the audience. Prince John.
Absolutely, and Rushige. Goodness, these formats, man. Never download anything that's not a JPEG, my friends, because it's gonna make it so that you have to stall creatively while I take a photograph of Adam Wingard because
they know the news now,
no,
John.
Oh no, I spoiled it. Spoilers.
You spoiled it.
River Song would be so upset with me right now. There we go. Come on. All right. See, this is every episode of this stream is also a behind the scenes of the stream because you get to watch us, fumble around like professional. All professionals are just people who fumble in the right direction.
It's
you know
true.
what I mean? They just harness the fumble, and that's what we do. Is we harness the fumble, and then we, get the touchdown, and we make really cogent metaphors that make sense within themselves. Anyway,
I didn't know you knew about sports. That's awesome.
I am a sportsman, Andrew, and this picture
I
is,
definitely know after the last story who your favorite football team is.
It is. Who's that? The Dazzlers.
That's right.
Who's
The
wait a
Taylor
minute.
Dazzlers.
All right. I can't get sidetracked on a football tangent right now, though. Now you got my brain working. You can see the photo. Adam Wingard, director. Did he also co-write these movies too? Anyway, the shepherd of the most recent MonsterVerse entries, Godzilla vs. Kong, and Godzilla
Silent.
Kong. Yes, Godzilla's Silent X Kong. The New Empire has parted ways for now with at least the sequel track for that specific part of the MonsterVerse. He's said, he's expressed interest in working within that realm and within the MonsterVerse, doing other things, in the future down the line.
Yeah.
But for right now, certainly not returning for whatever Godzilla Kong 3 is, despite reportedly having ideas for where he wanted to go with it, notably wanting to do a more Godzilla-focused third movie.
No, I was gonna say I love I love both those films. Check out our reaction to the newest one with Coy and Tara and myself. That was a lot of fun. That film.
And we did
minus one.
Go check out.
Yes.
It's pertinent to the story, so go check out the New Empire. But also,
yeah, no, it was very fun, very entertaining. I will say Godzilla. I don't know if I cared very much for Godzilla's storyline, although I was very happy to see Godzilla in the film and Kong team up, of course, and save the world as they always do, even though they're causing a lot of destruction as well. But getting to the point of the story, I definitely love how much Adam cares about these characters. You can tell there's a lot of care for these characters, and I'm definitely saddened to see him go. Having said that, he is a director at the end of the day, and I'm glad that he's going to be at least given the opportunity to do other things. I think it said he was leaving for an A24 project, right? Onslaught, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm happy for him, like as a director, that he's going to get to flex his directorial muscles and do something else. So granted, he's not going to have the financial pressures of having to, he's already done what he was supposed to do with the first two Godzilla and Kong films. I mean, those hit big numbers from what I remember. And, it's not going to be as much pressure. So if he relatively does a good film and it gets pretty good box office numbers, that gives him, he's more in a position to really just do whatever the heck he wants after that. So, I'm looking forward to just from that perspective for him. I'm excited for him.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to the franchise, I would love to have him back. You know what I mean? So it puts it in a precarious position. Like, who do you go to from here? And do you, stay on the style and trajectory that he had it on? Because I'm not going to compare what he did in the last two films to Godzilla -1. It's not fair to compare because that's just on a
no,
totally
I think we
different
should.
level. Yes,
I think we should.
We should, John.
Too many people are
Absolutely.
of the mind that you can't compare them directly, and I
Yes.
say
We-
no longer.
We should compare. They're so on the same
They
level.
are trying to
Emotionally,
be the
yes,
same kind of thing.
Totally. But having said that, I thought they were just very fun, entertaining, cheesy, good popcorn summer films, and that's why I took them. So I'd like them to be somewhere on that level again, a little more Godzilla focused. But yeah,
I do appreciate the contrast. Having what Toho does being, at least as of recent, more allegorically minded, more dramatic, more in line with the original sort of monster movie roots of the horror side of the monster movie roots of the franchise and the dramatic side of that, and then having the legendary stuff over here be the more big, fun, bombastic take on these characters. I actually think simultaneously, despite them making it difficult for Toho can't release stuff in America if Legendary also does in the same year, those logistics aside, I think it's really cool that we get both flavors. And
Absolutely.
with Adam Wingard, I think, a lot of us liked Godzilla versus Kong on the whole more than Godzilla Kong the New Empire. But, they both carried that fun, 80s tinted spirit. And I'm torn because, a franchise like this, I'm like, Adam Wingard has certainly proven a worthy shepherd for at least this leg of it, even though, again, Godzilla Kong not as strong as the previous one. I would be curious to see him take a more Godzilla-focused movie on within this world. So a little bummed not to get that. At the same time, though, I am happy about the general report. See, the thing is, these franchises got to move on a schedule, and they got to keep, the money train rolling.
Yes.
And so I feel like part of me wonders if he would have returned for part 3 if they weren't going to move ahead so quickly on it. And I don't know exactly what their schedule is, but like this movie Onslaught, he's reteaming with Simon Barrett, who is his frequent writing collaborator. He's worked with on tons of stuff, Blair Witch and The Guest, and probably most all of his filmog has been in collaboration with Simon Barrett. You're Next. And so like that to me is I'm happy to hear that from a filmmaking perspective, from a creative perspective, because it sounds like what he's doing is taking a break from these massive blockbuster products to go make, something more along the lines of his own filmmaking voice and passion and whatever else. So this makes a lot of sense to me. And like, if, again, in my filmmaking world, I feel like it's almost ideal to have people, if you're doing a giant blockbuster studio movie, hey, take a break, go do something a little smaller, a little more, in your control, and then come back re-energized. Like, I always appreciate that Christopher Nolan, after doing...
I was just about to say, after Batman Begins, he did The Prestige.
Yeah, and then after Dark Knight, he did Inception, which is certainly big and wild and all that stuff.
Of course.
But, still, doing a small one, doing something else, and then coming back to this world, I feel like that just keeps you fresh.
It's a recharge, a reset. Totally agree.
And, I mean, with a franchise like the MonsterVerse, I understand that, it's like any other shared cinematic universe, certain characters will be their own franchise, but I also am not sort of attached to the idea that one person should be doing a bunch of them.
Fair enough.
And so it does seem like a franchise that is well at home, having a revolving door of talents and personalities.
I agree with you, and to your point, though, if they're going to get someone, I just wanted to get someone that has the love and care that he has for these characters. All I'm saying.
And the sense of fun. I mean,
of course.
Even though I don't know, the humans in any Godzilla movie are always a problem, and it seems like, I mean, Godzilla versus Kong, I think of all the new ones is the most agreeable. But who's going to come in? Who's going to bring that sense of fun? And I mean, there are other decades to hearken to besides the 80s. I like some good 80s nostalgia and whatever else, those aesthetics, synth, colorful lighting, all that stuff. But, there are also a lot of other flavors that can be explored and brought in. And I think as much as this is kind of a bummer, and as much as we got to meet him for a little bit and see him talk about his process for the movie and his inspirations when we went to the IMAX event. And he was really cool. He was a really personable, fun to talk to guy. Hoping just whatever's next is a good one. And
but how much was the check that he slipped you worth? I want to know that.
It's like $12, honestly.
Okay.
But hey,
enough for gas for a couple gallons.
Not as much as the Marvel checks, but it was pretty substantial. It was enough to make it work.
But again, I'm very excited for him. I think again it's a good recharge reset for him, and I'm actually really looking forward to Onslaught. Seeing the two Godzilla Kong films makes me more excited to watch more of his work.
Yeah, absolutely. If you haven't seen The Guest, go check out The Guest.
I want to check out The Guest.
Guest is freaking rad.
I will check that out,
and a lot of fun, and a bit quirky, and it's definitely one of those movies where you watch it and you're like, what is this? What is happening right now? But in a good way.
I'm gonna watch The Guest. Like, where's Godzilla? Where's Kong?
They'll be there.
Yes.
But guys, what do you
Cameos.
think? Who would you like to see step in instead of Adam Wingard? Leave it in the
Please,
comments.
give
And
some choices.
I think without further ado, let's hop into some of your guys' thoughts.
Super
Let's
chats.
see what you guys have to tell us. And then we got a couple other, like, what do you call them? Underlines, or, and there's something that's not like a headline, but there are a couple other news developments of the week that have been pretty interesting in the
there's
movie
definitely
world.
one I want to talk about.
Oh yeah. Oh, I can imagine, Andrew.
John knows what I want.
Oh, I couldn't
If
even
it's not a
begin to guess.
if it's not a question,
It is a question, Andrew. I don't know what you're talking about, man. Make some sense, man. All right.
never.
Thank you guys so much. We've seen you guys jumping in and contributing already. You guys drive these, and it's, again, all of you, not just the people contributing to the super chats and whatnot. Like, it's so cool every week to jump in here, even when I'm not on the stream. But if I peer in and I see what's going on in a stream, it's just so cool that we get to have this element of the channel be alive and kicking. So thank you. Like, this is so
Yeah,
cool.
seriously, thank you guys.
Yeah,
You guys
so
are the best.
you really are. I feel like there's always discourse about what it's like to live in the modern time and to be on the internet, and there's a lot of angst surrounding that. But
And my favorite too is always meeting you guys in person. You guys are always so sweet and nice.
I feel like, yeah, we through whatever divine means have cultivated a very lovely and thoughtful group of folks out here. The Reject Nation is rich with thoughtful and interesting folks like yourselves. So just, thank you for bringing that energy our way. And let's hop into some of your guys' thoughts, takes, opinions, etc. You know what I want more of in these streams? I want some more unpopular opinions. Really get people's brains working. Yeah. Uh-oh. That's right, Andrew. You're not even ready for some of these opinions that are going to come your way.
Women. Don't know what her problem is.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We got the Beetlejuice 2 trailer.
Normally, Jix.
It's like your Christmas right here, Andrew. You've been pitching your own Beetlejuice 2 for so long now.
Yes, he broke the news to me when Beetlejuice 2 was announced, and what was it? Plan B, the production company, was announcing the film. He's like, "Sorry, Andrew."
Oh, it's okay.
Thanks for the text, John.
You'll get your chance
One day.
when they reboot it. You'll get to do your version. And yes, Matt Colton, specifically in the chat, asked for some John Blackthorne. So why don't you say a nice thank you to Nora Mac kicking us off? I know we caught you up at the top when you first sent the sticker in, but you are the #1 fan. You're first today, and you didn't even have to comment first. You sticked it. So Andrew, give Nora Mac some love with your velvety Blackthorn pipes.
Normac, we appreciate you so much. Thank you very much for being our #1 super chat comment. We so appreciate it.
Oh,
Thank you so much, Normac.
I get chills every time, Andrew. I get chills every time.
Janicio, we much appreciate your chills, my good friend.
Just listen to this man. Listen to this man. And if you want to listen to more of this man, do more of that voice, go check out our Shogun reactions, because that, again,
that was fun.
Ever grateful to the man Greg
and
for coming
yes,
over to
thank you,
coming
Greg.
our way and being like,
That
hey,
was
I think
fun.
you guys should do the Shogun.
That was fun and also extremely emotional.
Yeah,
Damn.
man. Hey, it's good to cry on camera.
Yes, it is.
Don't
Oh,
cry
no.
in real life.
Yes.
Don't cry
only
in
on
front
camera.
of people who know me well, but we will cry in front of the world.
Yes, only on
You know.
camera is when you can cry.
I'm just crying thinking about how great all of you are.
Yes.
Aurelie Frost, thank you for joining in the chat. Francisco Moro, Charlie836, we'll get to you. And got the stash love for Andrew. Rooster.
Yes, that's
Got the
exactly why
rooster.
it's exactly the reason why I grew it.
Ooh, save that chat question for Andrew for a little bit later, because I'm sure Andrew's got some thoughts on that season coming up. But Christian Unpronounceable, thank you so much for contributing to
Thank
the
you,
chat.
Christian.
And for-
Unpronounceable.
Yeah, dude, like Christian's, you're another one of the folks who's somehow, no matter when the stream pops up or gets announced, you're always here, and it's just you're one of the regs. This is in the Cheers bar.
Appreciate you.
You're one of the people who's on the main ensemble of the cast, so we appreciate you very much. Shouts out to you in Canada. Did you?
You're
guys,
from Canada? Oh my God, I'm half Christian, you want to hear something embarrassing? I'm half Canadian. My father's Canadian. I've never been to Canada. So embarrassing.
What?
I need to
Andrew.
go one day. It's on
Andrew.
it's on my bucket list.
What are you
I know.
doing to me, man?
Half Canadian, never been. One day I
Why-
shall go.
Why not?
But Christian, let me know which parts of Canada, even though I'm sure my dad's going to have a full list of where I need to go. Let me know where I need to visit specifically.
Yes, of course. Alrighty. Yeah, did you guys watch Outer Range Season 2?
You know, I need to watch more TV. The only TV I really watch is a lot of what I see on here. Yeah, it's tough for me. I don't get to watch a lot of TV when I'm at home.
What
So
is
I know.
this? Oh my goodness, I didn't know this show existed. You
Oh,
have just hipped me to something new.
I did hear about with Josh Brolin. Yes, I did hear about that show.
This is good. On IMDb, when you look it up, they have the poster cropped, so the title just says Uter Rang.
Uterang.
A rancher fighting for his land and family discovers an unfathomable mystery at the edge of Wyoming's wilderness. That's a nice log line there. Interesting.
But I want to know, how many times does Josh Brolin's character snap his fingers in the show? That's the question.
Is that a reference?
Maybe.
Is that a movie reference?
Maybe. I am inevitable.
Oh, Andrew, the references are inevitable.
They
Don't spoil what this is. But I am intrigued. I mean, certainly this seems like the poster makes this look like Yellowstone meets sci-fi or something like that. And I like a good mind bender. I just saw a thing where Josh Brolin was commenting on directing actors. Does he direct on this show too? Either way, thank you for the recommendation, and would love to Shrek it out at some point in time. Especially, never seen Cowboys and Aliens, but I do love.
I have never seen that either. I think Damon Lindelof wrote that as well.
Look out now,
And we know Jon Favreau directed that. I have not seen that. If you,
John.
I know, John.
I could not finish the YMS Lion King. Like, big respect, but
Yeah.
it's just so much.
Thank you, Francisco Moro, for the super chat. We so
Yeah.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you, buddy. We'll get there.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I have not heard the greatest things about that film. But either way, I don't think we should always be pertained to only have to do great films in regards to reaction. So if
I'm looking forward to the days where we can do either debatable or so bad it's gradable films.
Yeah, I want to do it. You guys let us know in the comment section, but I so want to do with Tara and John, Samurai Cop.
Ah, that's it. You've been talking about that for a
I
long
want to do
time.
that so badly. You have no idea.
All right. Oh, there's a new Jessica Alba movie trailer.
Ooh.
Huh? Does it look wild? All right.
I think
And,
the first Jessica Alba film I saw, 1994's Camp Nowhere.
dude,
I believe she was in that movie.
I don't know what the first Jessica Alba movie was that I would have seen, but
Let me
either
know if I'm
way.
wrong about that, guys.
Justin DeCesare, thank you for
Thank you,
jumping
Justin.
in the chat.
Thank you,
this
buddy.
Is this the first time I would have read your name? Either way, thank you. And as always, guys, we will not leave this place until every Super Chat and Streamlab comment, question, or concern is addressed. So, yeah, if you've got anything you'd like us to weigh in upon, feel free to throw it in there, and we will make sure that we talk about it. And if we don't talk about it, we will be punished by you. You can choose a punishment.
This isn't
for us.
revenge.
In
It's
fact,
punishment.
That might too. React to the room. Ooh.
I have seen The Room.
Something might be in the works. You never know. But yeah, Justin DeCesare. I hope I'm saying your name right too.
That movie is amazing.
It's a masterpiece.
Might be the greatest film ever.
That's
And
why
you
they-
got to meet Tommy. You and Greg got to
We
meet Tommy.
did.
That's one of my favorite
I
pictures
have
of.
touched that man.
That is one of my great. But did you have a spoon when you met that man?
No.
You guys understood that
No.
reference, I hope. But no, that is one of my favorite pictures of you and Greg together with a celebrity. That's one of my favorite pictures of you and Greg together with someone.
Aw. Thanks, buddy.
Tommy Wiseau. I remember when you guys posted that picture. I'm like, this is amazing.
We have made it, truly.
Yes, you have.
Absolutely. Justin, though, Lost. is my favorite show of all time. So I think Damon can do something really cool with Green Lantern. P.S. Love the psych reactions. P.P.S. You should react to Lost. Thank you so much.
That would take a long time to get every reaction out of every single show, but I would be down.
Lost is one.
I've never
I
seen
remember
it.
being really into. There was a period of my life during like high school or whatever, or like junior high, where I was really following TV. Every new whatever they call it, when all the new shows come out. Every season, I was like, oh man, what's coming up on each network? I gotta check this stuff out. And I remember when Lost first dropped, and I was like really about it. And then I fell off probably right after the first season. And I haven't revisited it since then. So I don't know if there would be or any kind of plan to do that. But a Lost React series, I think, would be very fun.
I'd be down to do it if you guys asked.
Especially
Just throwing it out.
Especially to see, too, because it has such a complicated legacy of like whether or not it's satisfying and what aspects are good and what aspects are bad and did they know what they were doing. Like, that just seems like a fascinating thing to observe, especially now in time where, just the way all this stuff works is a bit different.
Well, we always know what the Joker said in The Dark Knight, John. When the chips are down, civilized people, they eat each other. And I'd be fascinated to see how that works on that channel. And one of my favorite things in middle school watching was, what's that movie called where the kids go down in the in their ship? Lords of...
Salem? Dogtown?
Yes. No.
Lord of the Dance?
No.
Lord of War?
No, Lord of the Flies. Thank you.
King of Kings.
Lord of the Flies. God, you're like mixing me up right now. Lord of the Flies.
I like the pineapple in the chat, Matt Colton. We got psych fans in the chat.
Yeah, I know J.J. Abrams. Wasn't he a producer?
J. Jonah Abrahams.
Yeah.
Yes,
do you know?
he was.
By the way, do you know
that Lost brought us the mystery box?
Yes, I'm sure we got a lot of lens flare shots in that show. But do you know the first?
Some giant
do you guys
goldfish
know the
crackers.
first film ever that J.J. Abrams wrote? It's one of my favorite comedies of all time. Came out in 1990. Taking Care of Business.
Taking Care of Business
With Charles Grodin.
Oh, you
and
love
James
Charles Grodin.
And James, I did love Charles Grodin and James Belushi. I love that movie. Let us know in the comments if you've seen Taking Care of Business. I can't react to it because I've seen it 10,000 times, but that'd be a great reaction on this channel.
Sure.
I love that movie so much. That's the first film J.J. Abrams ever wrote. Yes, guys, I know. I said Lord of the Flies. I got it. But thank you so much. I appreciate it.
We got there. Buffy Angel rewatch has not happened. I still got to finish Buffy, and I did a watch a long time ago.
I watched Buffy, the whole thing. My friend made me watch the whole thing, but I never got to watch Angel, unfortunately.
When I was like, again, this was like way back, but when we were doing it, my girlfriend at the time was taking me through it, and we were doing Angel and Buffy like with there's an order you can watch them in where you're watching an Angel episode here, you're watching a couple Buffys here, and they intertwine, which is kind of neat. But yeah, I'm glad you love the psych reactions as well. It's one of my favorite shows, and that was such a joyous experience to share with the patrons. If you guys are interested at all in that, no pressure, but they are streaming on our Patreon page with reaction highlights and watch-alongs.
And just really quick, Matt Colton, I agree, Mr. Destiny was underrated. I love that film. I believe it was directed by James Orr, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
and he also did 1995's Man of the House with Chevy Chase. So
hey, Sam Thomas, thank you so much. We will get to your super chat.
Thank you, Sam.
Absolutely. You keep the names of these filmmakers alive.
Yeah, I got my notes here. They're really. I'm sorry that Coy spoiled that where I keep my notes, but yes.
I have so many questions about this, but I also don't want to get the stream demonetized. Anyway, I think Damon can do something pretty cool with Damon Lindelof can do something pretty cool with the Green Lantern series.
I'm like I said, I love those two characters, and two, they're so polar opposites. Like one is so serious, and one jokes around so much. So just their energies would just perfectly match together. You know the buddy cop in space. I just think it'd be fun. I would love to see that, and then with the visual effects of possibly Superman and Lois, bringing that in space. I just think it'd be fun. Like
definitely,
I'd be so open to that.
And his arc over time has been interesting because I know there was a time where the name Damon Lindelof, I feel like there was a brief moment where he was kind of a pariah, especially for the Lost stuff, where it's like, did you guys know what you were doing? But he's had like a real redemption arc, at least in the public eye, with stuff like The Leftovers and oh god, I'm blanking now.
Don't blank,
yeah.
John.
Yeah, The Leftovers, Watchmen, the series.
I have to watch
which
that.
I
I've
gotta
heard.
watch too.
I've heard that so
I've
many
heard it's
people
pretty
love
great.
it. Yeah, it got like
Um,
an 8-point-something rating on IMDb.
So yeah, I feel like he has bridged the gap between his inclinations as a sci-fi, as a theoretical science fiction writer, as well as a writer with some actual thematic heft on his mind, at least again as of what I've heard about stuff like The Leftovers. So yeah, I think it's a solid choice, and for Green Lantern, I feel like it's almost the perfect middle ground. You know, it's not too heady, it's not too, you know, some other adjective. It's not too heady. It's also not like silly nonsense or whatever. You know, I feel like this would be a great opportunity to make some interesting but also fun, you know, comic book science fiction. Thank you for your thoughts, Justin. Appreciate that very much.
Thank you, Justin. Appreciate you.
Mustafa Jav.
Thank you, Mustafa.
Or
Jav.
Hav,
Thank you.
however the J goes there. Roman Reigns is in the chat. We doing the Roman Reigns? People love The Leftovers too. I see people calling out The Leftovers here. Oh man. Oh man, give us a Spencer quote. Let me think of a good one. That's the next thing I gotta do. In fact, shouts out to Anissa Oliva, one of our longest patrons, sent me a shirt with a bunch of psych quotes all over it. I mean, just every day I say to myself, "Come on, son," but that's just a, you know, that's them doing Ed Lover. But Mustafa, with all these music biopics, thank you so much. By the way, you're another regular, you're
Thank
another
you.
usual suspect, and that's just lovely. I love that we can
I
have
need to
regulars.
see
at
that
these
one
things.
too, by the way.
Oh, now's the time, Brian Singer. Thank you, Fear and Loathing.
Thank you, Fear and
We
Loathing.
will get there. Appreciate you keeping the stream alive with thoughts and generosity. But yeah, with all these music biopics, I'd love to see a White Stripes film titled "Let's Be Friends," starring Evan Peters and Maisie Williams. How about you guys? Damn, I never would have thought about it. And we are getting to a point in time where a White Stripes or a Jack White related movie could be a thing. I feel like Jack is still out here, and he's certainly, you know, he's still exploring and creating and morphing and mutating. So I feel like, you know, there's certainly much of the story left to go. But yeah, being that the White Stripes in particular has sort of run its course, barring any kind of theoretical reunion that maybe might happen anywhere down the line, like I would love to see that. And I think Evan Peters is funny because Johnny Depp and Jack White at certain points in their existences have, you know, had similar aesthetics. And Evan Peters, I've heard, I think Greg often has even compared him to like an old school Johnny Depp in terms of like, there's a little bit of the look, but also just in his acting sensibilities.
Yeah, I can see that.
And Maisie Williams from Game of Thrones and whatnot, and New Mutants. I hadn't, you know, it's like I didn't even have a fan casting in mind, but I like the idea of these two, and I would love, to see. I don't know what it would be, but I think it would be really interesting, and I love their music. So yeah, I mean, White Stripes. I wonder if I'm like, what is the statute of limitations or something? Yes, they are a band. White Stripes are a band. You've heard you've heard some of their music, even if you don't know who they are. You've heard the riff from Seven Nation Army. It's been co-opted into like one of those songs people sing at sporting events. James,
Thank you, James.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you.
We will get to your question or your. This is just more of a. No. This is a question. Sorry. Sometimes when you're like reading things on the fly, you know, you're like, oh, is there punctuations and whatnot?
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you so much. We will get there. We don't stop until all the super chats and
Every
Streamlabs are read.
single one.
Absolutely. But dude, Taron Egerton absolutely deserves some more love for Rocket Man. I don't remember who he was up against.
I need to see that one.
I was not a huge fan of Bohemian Rhapsody, but I did love Rocket Man.
Need to see that one too.
Rocket Man's pretty great. So yeah, guys, would you want to see a White Stripes, you know, cinematic tale, a White Stripes?
I want to
biopic?
see it, John. I'd be down to see Evan Peters and White. I mean, I'm down to see Evan Peters in anything.
I can
So,
tell that we are going to
yeah.
be friends, Andrew.
We are going to be friends.
We are going to be friends. He lent that song to Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh, really?
That's right.
Oh.
That's the opening.
I gotta
music.
It's been a long
Walk
time
with
since
me,
I watched that.
Susie Lee, through the park and by the tree. Anyway, thank you so much, Mustafa. And yeah, what are some other musical biopics? A Robbie Williams biopic is on its way. He just did a feature on a they're not called Soft Play. They changed their name to Soft Play, and quick comment. They did a song called "Punk's Dead" about the fact that they had to change their name because their original name was a bit problematic, and so yeah, they changed their name, and people flipped out about it, and so they made a song in response to people flipping out about them changing the name, and Robbie Williams is a feature on that track. So I didn't know that there was going to be a Robbie Williams joint coming up, but yeah, who would you all like to see a biopic, a musical story, movie take on? I feel like there are a lot of interesting, maybe not quite as obvious, but still, notable figures we could take on. And two, I mean, we're the music industry and how like popular stardom has changed over time is interesting too. So I wonder, like, who are going to be the people that we decide to make these movies about,
And if you haven't already, don't forget to check out our Elvis reaction.
That's right. We did do Elvis. We did Austin Butler.
I mean, it was a little bit of an acid trip in the first, 30 minutes with the way it was edited, but check out our reaction. It was a good time.
Cocaine bender, that movie, in a lot of ways.
That's how Buzz Larman did the editing.
Was Robbie Williams in a band? I know him as a solo. You know what? Speaking of movies, he did the theme song for Johnny English, which I think is an underrated comedy.
I have never seen it.
Is
that with Mr. Bean himself?
With Mr. Rowan Atkinson himself.
No, his name is Mr. Bean.
Fleetwood Mac movie. Absolutely, Cherise.
I'd be down for a Fleetwood Mac movie. Although we did get to hear their songs, right, in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, if I'm not mistaken.
I love, too, that the Rumors album was just like them beefing with you. In a moment in time where we just had like a prolific hip-hop beef between two singular figures. I love the idea that I saw Todd in the Shadows video. I think about a Bon Jovi, sure.
But
I saw real quick. I saw a Todd in the Shadows video about I think it was a Creedence album where like half of that was just them writing different songs. Creedence Clearwater Revival. Just kind of like getting out their angst at each other.
I was gonna say the Fleetwood Mac movie would have to end at least a mid or post credit scene with James Gunn or Disney saying we need a couple of your songs in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
I'm putting together an original soundtrack.
That's the only way that film can end, guys.
Guns N' Roses movie, that's a good one. That Amy Winehouse movie, I've seen the posters around and I have not heard great things about it. I feel like that's a particularly tricky one too, because she's such a recent figure, and obviously the circumstances around her
Linkin Park
were quite sordid. Oh man, my
favorite band.
My heart every year, man, around Chester's birthday.
Yeah,
and his,
we always text each other
day.
around that too. You and I.
Oh boy!
And whenever we do karaoke, fun fact, John and I, we always do a Linkin Park song together.
Yes. Oh, that's right. We got to do some more.
Yes, we do.
I wish I could sing like Chester, boy.
None of us can.
even though Sacha Baron Cohen's in sort of hot water from some of his past behaviors, I was very curious to see his take on the Freddie Mercury biopic.
Oh.
Before they decided on Bohemian Rhapsody, he was going to do a more like warts and all kind of story, which I think would have been interesting. There's also, there's the 4 interconnected Beatles movies that I believe Sam Mendes is working on.
Wow.
Paula Abdul would be a great one. There's so many good ones. Keep them coming, and we will check back into the chat. You are a total... Oh, my God, Andrew. People getting thirsty for the Drew in the chat.
Whoa, hey.
Getting that mustache love. All right, Mayank Rananavare.
Thank you so much for your super chat. We appreciate it.
Oh, good golly. Oh, goodness. I wonder... INR. Is that Indian rupees? Have you been watching Andrew on the Cinedesi?
Hey.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Thank you.
Let's see what... and thank you for contributing. That's really generous. Hey, John and Andrew. Hey, you. With the new X-Men movie under development, will we see them in Avengers Secret Wars or post that?
That's a great question.
That's a good question. My best off the dome guess is
well, when Secret
is after.
I was going to say, when Secret Wars supposed to be released?
2027.
Oh,
goodness gracious!
I would say if they're not in that movie, which I don't think they will be in that movie, definitely in the post-credit scene, there's going to be something about that. If they're not in some kind of cameo, I mean, I don't know. I could see them as 2027. That's still a ways away. That's 3 years, and they're in script development right now with X-Men.
I could imagine some teases and appearances.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is a tricky thing because there was all that stuff about the rights where they couldn't even use new versions of the X-Men Fox characters until 2025,
Right.
which is when this new X-Men MCU movie goes into production, which suggests to me that it would be released sometime in 2026.
Right.
Obviously this is a project in early development, so we don't really know all the circumstances. I've heard certain rumors, at least, that it may be its own contained X-Men movie, away from the greater continuity of the MCU, kind of picking up where X-Men 97, not in story, but just taking after, I should say, X-Men 97 in, not being interconnected. However, I don't know if they're going to do that, and I do think that certainly Secret Wars, being that it's supposed to be a summer 2027 release, I could absolutely see certain X-Men characters
That's what I was thinking,
potentially factoring in. And being that it is such a monumental, or theoretically it will be a monumental culmination of a phase, obviously that it brings with it a big team-up potential. So I feel like something like a Deadpool Wolverine, you expect to see a whole lot of Madcap cameos, whereas like a Secret Wars, I don't expect that approach so much. But I can imagine at least some small appearances, if not some actual incorporation of... it's a really interesting question because we also don't know what team they're going to go with for the movie and if they're going to use the well-trodden flagship characters. There are some speculations that they might go for more obscure characters at first, not even have a Wolverine yet, or maybe even... get ready. I'm not going to try and trigger anybody, but there are rumors that they might do a sort of female-led X-Men team for the movie.
No, you can't.
Which I am just coming around to the idea that women exist and can be in movies.
I did love that video Coy did where you do some separate ones as well, separate story, like that one video he did where he was talking about a Storm solo film. I love that video of his. Check out Coy's video on that. That was a great video. I love that.
He's been go check out Coy's recent just comic corners in general. Go check out his channel too. He's been doing a lot of really cool reviews and recommendations there.
If we do remember, in Captain America: Civil War, we got Spider-Man in there before he had his solo film.
It's true.
So
that's true.
Again,
it could be.
If it is going to be in continuity with the greater MCU, that is a possibility.
Let's get Bishop in there. Or somebody. I don't know. I could absolutely see maybe a less flagship character or two popping up, or maybe they will throw in like a Spider-Man. Maybe they'll throw in somebody notable and use that as a segue. I mean, I am curious because it all depends on how they introduce the X-Men and what that means to the world. I mean, with the MCU being what it is now, it seems a little difficult to act like, oh, mutants have just been here the whole time. I know we have Inhumans as well, and there's things to deal with there. Or this X gene mutation could be just a new phenomenon in this timeline. Or the X-Men universe. It's funny, like the Marvel universe is shared, but X-Men always feels like it could be its own whole ass universe,
Of course.
It's a really interesting question, and I would love to hear what you guys have to say about this, and if you think they will factor in heavily or not.
If they do say that they were here the whole time, I'm going to be excited for what they say is the reasoning why they weren't. It was the same thing with Captain Marvel. It's like, where have you been this entire time? And I thought that reasoning was fine with me. That there were other galaxies she had to defend. So okay,
She's busy. She's got the pager.
I could understand that. So.
The Librarian of Alexandria. I love your name here, and I'm glad that somebody else appreciates Johnny
I need to
English.
see that. We need more comedies here, so I'm down for more comedy action. So
Where all my Johnny English fans
I'm down for, and I love Rowan Atkinson. I believe the first film I ever saw him in was 1990's The Witches, so I'm down for that.
Ooh, that's right.
He's the hotel manager.
That's right, he is. I went through a big phase where I was watching that movie
and also the kid who plays Luke in that, he was the very next year he was one of the Lost Boys in Hook.
I don't think I've actually seen Hook. I mean, like Hook, They would put it on.
You haven't seen
Hook
a movie?
was one of those movies they
I
would
love
put
that
on in
movie.
school during a rainy day. So I know I've been
And
in
you
the
were
room,
sleeping through the movie?
or I was drawing and like half paying attention. Not that I wasn't into it, but like
I love Hook. No matter what Spielberg says about that film, I love it.
oh, is he disowning Hook?
No, he's not disowning it. He thinks it could have been better, which I agree it probably could have been from a critical point of view, but I still love that movie. And the way he came up with the idea for that film, one of his kids said to him when he was reading a bedtime story to them, "Dad, what happens to Peter Pan after he grows up?" I believe is how he came up with the concept for that film. So I thought that was cool.
What happens to Peter Pan after he grows up? What happens to Christopher Robin after he grows up? It's a rich vein of dramatic.
What happens to the real rejects after they grow up?
Never. We are the Lost Boys.
We are
Andrew,
the
you and
ultimate
me.
Lost Boys.
K.N. Kiger, I wish you know what? I do have like a list of people I wish I could sing like, and Chester is 100% on that list. I'm not a very good. I would love to develop the ability to scream in a musical sense because that looks like one of the most cathartic things and satisfying things to be able to do. But I cannot claim that ability at the moment at all.
He screams just like Mark Wahlberg in Rockstar.
I feel like
Stephen Herrick would cast him right away.
I
if they
feel like
reboot that
me
movie.
screaming. Have I seen Rock? No, I've seen Almost Famous, but I haven't seen Rockstar. I feel like, I sound like the teenager from The Simpsons when I try to scream. In that sense. Blood and Honey, Matt Colton. We got that reaction here on the channel. Me and Roxy checked that out. So if you want to see it.
Is that the Winnie the Pooh?
That's right, man. I hope someday we get to do the sequels. So if you want it, demand it. Write your congressman. Never lose your nerd.
Never lose your nerd. Thank you.
I remember
we
called you out. We're here. Me, myself, and Irene reaction would be fun. I think that's.
I enjoyed that film.
I think that's been thrown out there. We have like a master list of a bunch of stuff. So it might be
the second Jim Carrey Fairley Brothers film.
I've never seen it. I just remember the trailer.
I remember the tagline to that film: "From gentle to mental."
Ooh, hey, that's not bad. That's a bar. That's a low-key bar. Christian Unpronounceable, Coy and Tara did Life of Brian around Christmas. So there's at least one Python up on the channel. Yeah, let's see what we got here.
No, never lose your nerd. Let's read what he said.
It's okay. I just want to see if you were paying attention.
That's
Andrew.
right.
All right.
He's
He's
always checking.
Yeah.
I'll read it.
Do it.
Loved the -1 reaction. Godzilla for life.
Oh, thank you so much.
And you're speaking
that was
to
a
the
joy.
2 people who did it, so we
That's
appreciate
right.
it. No, that movie was incredible. It was emotional. I loved Godzilla's design. Just how the way that they dealt with PTSD and just like dealing with kamikaze pilots and all that. I thought the film dealt with it in such a meticulous way, and just I was really impressed with the film as a whole. Probably my favorite design, like I said, of Godzilla as well. Just the film as a whole was just incredible. I don't know how they're ever going to top that movie, although I don't know if you should always strive to top something. Just continue to make good stories and great characters like that. But this is one of the first times ever, like watching a monster film like that, where I've just been beyond emotionally invested in the characters like this.
Yeah.
And that film was unbelievable. That's that's probably my favorite Godzilla film I've ever seen. What about you? It's right up there, if not the best one.
That and Shin Godzilla were both
Shin Godzilla
really,
was great.
really good.
Shin Godzilla was great. I loved Shin Godzilla. I definitely want to watch more Toho. Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
I want to watch more Toho Godzilla films for sure. I'd love to react to more on this channel.
Yeah. No. Oh man, if we could someday do like the Gauntlet, because it's like I feel like a lot of us have seen scattered installments of the Godzilla franchise, but I would love to actually do some kind of comprehensive journey through, or even get to a point where we could do Gamera and things like that. Like there's such a lovely and fun evolution across those kinds of movies. Thank you, Paul M.
Thank you.
We will be getting to that shortly. Also, we're going to keep the super chats open for a little while longer, just in case anybody's got some stragglers to get in there. Like I said, everything you contribute will be read and responded to.
Every single one. If John doesn't do it, I will.
That's right. But yeah, we can't be here forever, so get them in while you can.
Forever.
Forever.
Name that film.
Yeah, I mean, See, that's the thing is like part of me, I'm not sure if I'm even qualified to like pick a favorite right now. Right now, it would be either Shin or -1. Just because those both did something so striking that managed to again accentuate and like really justify the human elements while also being a great Godzilla movie.
Right.
And I love that combination can exist. And yeah, I felt so much for just the circumstance and the struggle. And by the end of -1, yeah, I definitely shed some tears for our lead character.
And the twist too that it's spoilers by the way. I'm giving you about 10 seconds here.
Plug your ears, plug your ears, plug your ears. Andrew, no. What is he gonna say? What is Andrew gonna say?
Joseph 91, thank you so much.
Thank you, buddy.
We really appreciate it. Yeah, and also the twist of one of the characters. I'll just say one of the characters surviving in case you haven't seen it.
Sure.
That twist, I really was like, oh my god, it's
That
so heartfelt. Thank
so
God.
heartfelt, and it's so hard to earn
That.
a choice like that.
Yes.
That could easily be a cop out or be kind of like like audiences love a happy whatever.
Yeah,
yeah.
But that was earned, like you said, for sure.
Due to the circumstances of what our lead character chooses.
The character was ready to finally live
Yeah,
again after everything he had been through. Yes.
So many great moments. So yeah,
Yes.
but Godzilla 1999 is easily the best one.
You mean 1998 Roland Emmerich?
1998 Roland Emmerich.
Let's get the release dates right, John.
You are the man. I have no concept of time, so you are the man.
It's the greatest Godzilla film ever.
Tis.
And I love the look of Godzilla. He's an iguana, not a lizard.
I want them to reference that movie in some future
I think
installment
that
by
might have
having giant worms.
I think that film. Oh, the worm
'Cause
man,
he's
Nicholas
doing the worm.
Nicholas Tatopoulos, who was named after Patrick Tatopoulos.
The famous makeup effects artist and director of some of the Underworld films.
Oh.
That's right. Roxy and I reacted to the first 3,
Cool.
and I fell in love with them.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said just Joseph 91. I meant to say Joseph 91 Salazar. Thank you so much.
Wow, Andrew. Why couldn't you see past the obstruction that was obscuring his name?
I'm so sorry.
How
My
could you,
bad.
Andrew? This is messed up, man.
We'll get a bat or something, and John can knock me 507 feet out of here.
That's exactly that many. 73 yards.
No,
If
5.
you haven't seen the new Doctor Who, that's also streaming up here
no,
on the channel.
507 feet. Let us know if you know that reference.
Oh, yeah. Let me know what the reference is. Michelle, we're going to read Michelle, and then we're going to go check
Michelle.
in on the Streamlabs.
Thank
see
you,
what's
Michelle.
going on with the
Thank you,
Streamlabs.
Michelle.
And then maybe we'll just throw in a couple other little topics. But yeah, Michelle, thank you so much for being here, for being so generous, for spending your Saturday afternoon with us. Instead of the cartoons, you got us. And I hope we're animated enough. Won't be around Super Chats time. Oh, no. But I wanted to wish you handsome gentlemen a happy Saturday. Sending lots of love. Hope you are both
Aw.
doing well. We're
Thank
doing
you,
even better
Michelle.
now. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Michelle.
I hope you're somehow here to hear this.
Yes.
And if you're not here to hear this, I hope that you somehow, come back and replay it and get to hear it. But yeah, thank you for the love. Thank
And
you for
Michelle, we hope you are having a day as beautiful as you are.
Absolutely. Thank you for the compliments. Thank you for the support. And yeah, lots
Appreciate
of love
you.
to you as well. Hand heart.
I'll try. I don't know.
Or as I learned recently, this is the millennial or the Gen Z version.
I'm not good at create. I can make a happy face on a piece of paper.
Which I get, but also, it's like my middle
I'll
finger's
just do
when I'm bent.
this.
Yeah, there you go.
My heart.
Anyhow.
Is that
all
shadow
right.
puppets?
Yeah. Yeah. There should be a whole shadow puppet movie. There's some Charlie.
Charlie 836. Thank you so
Absolutely.
much again.
There are some really neat old movies. I can't remember what it was called. There's a Mastodon music video for Sea Beast that is in reference to or in tribute to it's like an old movie where it's all paper cutouts and shadows and stuff like that. It's all chiaroscuro and paper cutouts, and it's sort of like early animation. And you can tell, some of the stuff is probably being like moved around on a stick, and there are like multiple layers, but it's like really beautiful and really gripping and fascinating. And I would love to see something like that happen again. Queen of the Desert, Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. Is that what we're talking about here? I saw Matt Colton commented that name. Okay, we're good on Streamlabs. Cool.
Streamlabs.
We're keeping it in the super chats today. All good. If you do want to hit the Streamlabs, just again, if you're so inclined, that link is pinned up above. But also, we appreciate any and everything, no matter where it comes from. So no pressure at all. Leave a like on the video. That's what I will pressure you to do, is to leave a like and share this with anybody who you think might be interested. We don't do Twitch yet, Ion Blosh, but you know, I feel like it'll be cracked someday. I feel like the more, again, just looking around the spectrum of things, a lot of people are doing like live react and live, you know, interaction stuff.
If we do Twitch, I'm doing the Batman Arkham games. Just saying.
Ooh,
And Zelda
there you go.
Ocarina
There
of Time.
you go.
I'm a pro at those games, guys.
Absolutely. Alrighty, here we go. You know what? Let me just look. Let's refresh the super chats. There are a couple other things that have happened in the news this week that I don't think anybody has yet asked about. And I will just a heads up to everybody.
Got another super chat, John.
Obviously, we never want to close. Oh, Kiana! Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kiana. Appreciate
Obviously,
you.
we never want to leave you guys. We never want to end these things, but
Never.
we also, you know, have a bunch of other stuff to get to in a day. So we will have to close down the super chats pretty soon. Not quite there yet, but pretty soon. So yeah, I was gonna say something. Oh, that's right. We got an announcement about Rian Johnson's new Knives Out movie that's coming our way. It's something.
Did you just subvert our expectations, John?
Oh no! Did I subvert the expectations? I better stop that. People don't like that very much. At least not in Star Wars. But yeah, apparently the third Benoit Blanc movie has just been announced. I believe titled "Wake Up, Dead Man." Which is pretty fun, and I like that too. You know, we've got, you know, sort of this generation's Poirot. I know we have Poirot, obviously, with Kenny B holding it down for the murder mystery genre.
I need to see those first two films.
Yeah, go check them out. I've seen a fair amount of some of the old episodes, like the old show they did.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a good. I don't know. I hope that franchise keeps thriving because I really enjoy. Daniel Craig, there you go, as Benoit Blanc, and I really like that idea of somebody carrying on that torch of, you know, new mystery, but you know, same big personality here to solve it.
For sure. And his name is Craig. Daniel Craig.
Hey.
And yeah, no, I'm with you. You know which one murder mystery film I've never seen? I'd love to react to if people are interested. Is it
Murder Mystery? Oh, Clue.
Clue. I'd love to see that. Hand Clue.
And Clue.
And Clue.
I do love a clue. I'm a butler.
Yes.
Or no, what do you do? I buttle. There's so many great moments in that movie and multiple endings. John Charlie 836. Thank you for being here. For you've been really livening up the stream just with your love and your enthusiasm. I appreciate that very much. John's looking fit. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I can confirm he is.
I don't feel as fit as I would like to, but I
feel he is.
I have, by hook or by crook, been on a more dedicated exercise regime lately. You know, I'm still working it out, but I am making the effort each day to put some of that time in. And put some of that energy in.
I'm
glad that it's paying off in some fashion.
I'll have to teach you the healthy eating, John, right?
That's the next thing. Teach me how to eat healthy. Teach me how to get sleep that actually refreshes me. Teach me how to Dougie. Teach me all of your various workouts. Man, this dude, Andrew, is always like, check this thing out that I cooked myself. Checked out this like beautiful, also super healthy dinner.
Just keep in mind, people, I'm not a narcissist, or at least I like to pretend I'm not. But point is, I used to
save.
Yes, I used to only cook cereal. So when I actually make something that's healthy and delicious, I'm actually very proud of myself.
You would cook cereal?
Yeah.
I guess that is cooking.
Yeah,
I guess that is cooking. You are technically
you're making food. You're cooking.
You're preparing food. You're doing some chemistry. You know, you're combining dry with wet.
It's all an art
and a science, Andrew.
Yes.
Let's not pretend.
Yes.
John's looking fit.
John is looking good.
Is it weird? I want to put Haya in space bins to watch Space Balls. Wait. What am I missing here? Wait.
I thought we were talking about the movie Spaceballs.
Is it weird I want to put high-end space bins to watch Spaceballs? I enjoy the sentiment of this. I am missing the point of exactly what this means. Oh, we gotta have this back up on screen. Maybe people can help. You're still in the chat. Feel free to explain to my deprived brain what exactly. But Spaceballs, I remember when Greg and Sally reacted to that.
Oh, did they?
And,
I'll have to check out that reaction. I love that movie.
It's a good one.
Use
it's a
the
fun
Schwartz.
one. Oh, here we go. Sorry, I feel so much like it. John and Space Buns. There you go. To watch Spaceballs. All right, I'll get some chaps. I'll get some buttless chaps, and I'll wear only those for a Spaceballs reaction. And what I'll do is I'll stand to watch the movie, and then I'll put one camera on my face, and I'll put another camera on my bum. And then then I'll start my OnlyFans.
That's gonna break the internet.
Milk first or cereal, Andrew? Go.
Milk first or cereal? Cereal first, always.
Cereal first, always, Andrew.
Although,
I do find it very satisfying watching the displacement happen.
Yes.
Plus, if you're eating something that's O-shaped and you watch the stuff, coming up through the rings, you get what I mean. Sonic 2. Andrew and Tara just reacted to that.
And yes, we know Tails is a boy.
I'll start rocking the guns when I, got the guns in when my background check clears and they give me the guns. Yes. It's okay. As long as you appreciate the sentiment, Charlie, that's what matters. So yeah, I appreciate. Honestly, I just don't know how to take a compliment. So yeah, I will start rocking the tank tops once I get those Coy and Greg arms going, or even some Andrew arms. Flex for the people, Andrew. Andrew always be coming in here like John, Andrew Blackthorne. Check out my biceps.
That's not a bad Blackthorne impression. You should do your Nicolas Cage impression. It's pretty damn good.
Oh, thanks, Andrew. I feel like my skull's on fire, but I'm good.
I understood that reference.
Never.
Best comic book film ever.
Okay, it's pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I actually enjoyed the first one. I haven't seen the second one, but I actually enjoyed the first one. It was fun.
You know. But yes, I would love to be in some Space Buns to watch some Spaceballs.
And that was the director of the first Daredevil film, Mark Steven Johnson.
Look out. Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yeah.
Mark, who's that? Ray Steven.
No, Mark Steven Johnson.
Who's the guy on YouTube? Ray Steven Johnson?
I don't
Who
know,
am I getting confused with?
But Mark Steven Johnson, the director of Daredevil, he got married to Colin Farrell's sister.
Ray William Johnson. Really? Did he?
Yeah.
Colin Farrell's sister? No way.
And Colin Farrell was Bullseye in that movie as well, Daredevil.
Hey! Oh, I just heard a whole thing about how different the Daredevil movie was supposed to be.
Well, yeah, you guys reacted to it, right?
But even
more so
aside
than
from that, yeah.
Yeah.
Hearing what the original director. Oh, whose video is that? Was it High Top
Alex?
Films?
Or
yeah.
High Top Films. Yeah, I watched that. I watched that video too. It was great.
There you go. All right.
Studio interference.
All right. 5 minutes, and then we're gonna close down the super chats. But you still got a little bit of time. No pressure, but we do appreciate it. It helps the channel out a lot, and it just it's a big old help to us. And again, you guys just being so generous. I like every time we sit down to one of these, I'm always like, maybe no one will show up at all. Maybe no one will be here, and maybe no one will care. And so far, that's never been the case. So yeah, like. So many things happen in a week, and there's always each day is pretty thick. There's a lot of stuff to think about and a lot of stuff to make sure gets done. And these live streams are like a whole different animal in a really lovely way. And it's fun to get back out. Like Greg and I came up doing improv and stuff on stage, and so like getting to just hop on and riff. And even though we're not there in the room with you, it does feel like we're all together. And yeah, it almost feels like one of our wacky convention panels or something. A variable weight of massive talent. Still got to see that. I would. Oh, fine, Charlie. I get it now. See, all this was for that. Space buns, the hairstyle. I get you now. Oh my
Now-
God.
Yes.
That is okay. Yeah. Do some of the Princess Leia, cinnamon rolls. Yeah. Okay. We'll get some space buns. I'm always.
I
as a-
still like the other version of what you were talking
Yeah. This. Yeah. Oh, a friend of mine used to wear the cosmic curls a whole lot. Yeah. As a long hair person. You learn like, there's only so many things I can do with this. So I want to learn how to braid or whatever else. So yeah, I'll learn how to tie up the space buns. Roxy and I will
Next Star Wars film, that's what you do. And I think
We need to dress me up like Beetlejuice for the Beetlejuice reaction.
Oh,
Right,
there
guys?
you go. In character reactions. There we
And
go.
if you haven't seen me dressed up as Beetlejuice, check out my Instagram. I did dress up like him for Halloween a couple of years ago.
True
John
that.
was there at that Halloween party. We have a picture together.
Yes, sir, we do.
I should probably send that to you so you can post it.
I've been waiting all this time, Andrew. But that's good. If we ever do a rewatch, Space Buns all the way. Never lose your nerd. Thank you for jumping back in.
Thank you, Never Lose
Appreciate
Your
it. We
Nerd.
love you very
Appreciate you.
much. I saw something in here. Oh yeah, speaking of caring, do like the stream, and I wish the Electra movie had been better too.
I never saw it, but I heard there was a Ben Affleck cameo. Might have been in the director's cut or something. I don't know. It was or a deleted scene, whatever it was.
Oh, we got a Train to Busan up on the channel, Greg and I.
I did see that.
I would love to do a
I
group
have
one,
seen
though.
Train to Busan. That is an incredible zombie film.
Oh,
That
yeah.
is non-stop action ride.
Still got to see the
And emotion.
peninsula. Space Buns Cans joke was epic. Alrighty. Hey, never lose your nerd. Thanks for jumping back in, as I
Thank
said.
you so much. Seriously, appreciate it.
Yep. Got my tickets for Saturday opening weekend, and we'll make at least 150 million.
I'm happy for all of you, and I'm
This
sad.
movie is guaranteed to make. It's okay, Andrew. You're gonna have a special experience with the people.
I will.
Hopefully.
And
Um,
I can imagine lots of comments like, these people are liars. They've seen the movie.
You never know. You never do. You'll get everything under the sun, but you are a man of integrity, Andrew. Saturday, got your tickets. Opening weekend will make at least 150 million.
I
Do
agree.
you guys agree?
I agree with that. At least 150 mil. At least.
At least 550 million. I
Yes.
think at least 150 is a solid
for
guess.
sure.
I think the stretch goal would be like, man, can we get to 200? Can we get to like 175 or 180?
If
even,
it's
I can see.
really, really good, I would not be shocked if it hits 220.
And Druce instead of Beetlejuice
Wait, where does it say that?
is Charlie's throwing down the love. Oh no! Stop! All right, there we go.
Oh, Andrews.
Don't ever double click anything by accident.
Say my name 3 times.
I would-
Andrews.
Oh, Aisha, I would love to do another premiere event a la Dune Part 2. And hey, if you could make the trip out, that would be incredible. And hey, oh my goodness, Kiana, I'm sorry for your chronic pain flare-ups, but I'm glad that our dulcet tones could soothe your aching joints.
I hope you feel better.
Yeah, I really hope you feel better. And
If
thank you
anyone
for
understands
taking out
pain,
some time.
John can let you know it's me.
My man has overcome some stuff and has soldiered through some stuff in the past. I'm glad that things for the most part are much better now. But yeah, that was certainly tough to watch you go through some of
What's
that.
that line in Doctor Strange 2016? Pain's an old friend, right?
Pain's an old friend. True that. Yeah, absolutely. This movie is guaranteed to make $1 billion. Let's fucking go.
I hope so. That'd be awesome.
I'm just that's all it comes down to is like the movie just got to be good, and I think that is something about. I think that is as much as there's always a bunch of different speculations and stuff like that. I do feel like that is kind of the challenge the movie industry is facing right now. Is like the stuff that really performs is stuff that conveys the idea that like. This is a massive event that your TV cannot properly translate to you,
Of
and
course, yeah.
and Deadpool Wolverine has that for sure.
Yeah.
And
It's an event film, like you can wait to
Hundo.
stream it, but you're not gonna
want
regret
Yeah.
you're gonna regret that decision.
Yeah.
Well, apparently I am.
Absolutely. Bucky Barnes, you're the last one before we close the super chats down. So the final seconds are ticking here. But we'll still get to everybody else. Don't worry. Like I said, you guys drive the convo, and we appreciate everyone's
Thank you, Bucky
thoughts.
Barnes, ATL.
Absolutely.
We need to do a Real Rejects trip to ATL.
I would love
Let's
a tour.
Make it happen.
We'll go to Atlanta. Let's go to Austin. Let's go
Let's
to
take the Real
New
Rejects
York.
jet.
Let's take the Real Rejects jet. That's right. We got one. We got Taylor's private jet.
Yes.
Bucky Barnes, we appreciate nerding out with you all. Thanks. Thank you. Seriously, Bucky. Again, you're always holding it down, and you just appear here. I appreciate that. I mean, I feel like it would probably be easier for your life if we were like, hey, we're going live. Get ready. But the fact that you have turned up and have done such a fantastic job over time really, really means a lot. You're part of this operation, man. And yeah, thank you for just donating your time and generosity into helping not only keep things moving smooth and keep things pleasant, but also keep things fun. It's always a joy to hear your thoughts in the comments and whatnot. So
thank you.
So yeah, thank you for that. All right, I'm doing it, Andrew. I'm doing it. I'm hitting the button.
Doing the thing.
I'm doing the thing. YouTube is asking me. They're like, "Are you sure? Are you sure?" Yes, I'm sure. I'm saddened, but I'm sure. All right. You can still get your stickers in if you so choose, if you so desire. No pressure whatsoever. We are not a pushy bunch here.
But we shall still read each and every one of the super chats that are
left. Most definitely. And then we'll just start reading Streamlabs from last week.
Maybe if we have a few minutes, we'll read a couple in the chat.
Absolutely. Well. Oh, you know what else got announced was more Shogun. Shogun seasons 2 and 3.
I just heard my show. Is that right? Seasons 2 and 3. Does that mean Androgushie? Did I say that right? Andrushige and Jonitio.
Juntaro.
We'll have to figure it out. Anyways, again, if they would have just one-offed it, I mean, the way the show started.
Chicago, for sure.
Yeah.
Chicago.
Yes, we'll have to be in Chicago, Charlie836. Yes, the way that show started and ended, if they would have just said, we're done after season 1, I would have been okay. I mean, I would have been saddened, but okay with that because that show is incredible. But if they feel they have more story to tell, which clearly they do, I love being in that universe. It's phenomenal. And I love reacting to it with you and sharing it with you guys.
Likewise.
So I am so down. If they really feel they have a story to tell, because I know I know the miniseries back in the 80s or 1980 with Richard Chamberlain. I know there was only a miniseries of that. So now they're gonna
they edited it and they cut it down into a movie.
Right. So I know that they've kind of already stretched it to where the book went to, if I'm not mistaken.
They're going beyond that.
Now they're going to go beyond it. I will say I'm saddened by a certain character. Again, if you haven't seen it, a certain character is not going to be in it anymore. Maybe they can do a flashback sequence to get that character back in that type of way.
They'll find a way to resurrect them.
Yes.
The box office demands it.
But no, it's seriously in terms of a flashback scenario. I'm if they want to do that, I love that character so much and that actress. She's fantastic. But I'm excited for them. I'm excited to go back into that world because I've actually been a little bit saddened that when we were done the show, I was like, oh wait, I'm not coming back here this time on that day. Oh,
In the Mouth of Madness. I've never seen that one. Yeah, no, absolutely. We're in a position now where we don't have to do as many of the we got to be here, right when the thing drops. But there are certain shows that we still do that for. And Shogun, even though those were like late on a Monday night, was such a joy and was such a, I don't know, it was like being at camp or something. Like every Monday, we're going to be shacked up and, was going to get our Shogun time in.
And we had our countdown. The last couple of weeks, we're like, oh no, 2 more weeks. Oh no, next week. Oh no, we're done.
And as Mike Joyce is pointing out, the good thing is, like, even though they've run out of the book material, the book is based on actual history and actual figures from history.
Okay,
so there's plenty to be done. Yeah.
Sweet.
And I believe I heard a quote from one of the writers or showrunners or whatever talking about how they were sitting around after the first season and just kind of talking with some of the producers and he started going off, or she or they, whoever this was, I don't remember the name off the top of my head, but they were basically saying like, yeah, I just started to pitch something. I just kind of started riffing on ideas just, for fun, just, like, hey, this is what I would do. And partway into my little spiel, I noticed them start to lean in. They were starting like, yeah, what happens next? And from there I just kind of kept going, and I was getting inspired, and they were getting inspired, and pretty soon, we had something that seemed pretty promising. So I'm hoping that again, they have proven themselves capable of making something incredibly graceful and well balanced and nuanced and rich. And again, I would be worried if not for the fact that I assume that the people who adapted this book this time around are probably pretty solid writers on their own right. And yeah, there's plenty more to draw from.
Yeah,
luckily,
and
it's not
also-
just fan fiction; it's
right.
historical fiction.
Yeah, and Hiroyuki Sanada said too they would not go past season 1 if they didn't have something worthwhile to tell.
Exactly.
So I
And
trust
he's
him.
signed on again for
Yeah.
at least to produce it. So,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I mean, if he doesn't come back on screen, that'd be a little weird. But,
Of course,
but yeah.
of course. But
And they
trust.
better leave Fuji alone. I hope Fuji returns. Fuji's such
yeah,
a good
well,
character.
if something happens to Fuji, John and I write.
Absolutely. One of my favorite characters in recent memory. The Serpent and the Rainbow Love in the chat. Do you read... I know the name Sutter Kane. I have heard that name in relation to Hot D next month. That's right. Would it count if they said Beetlejuice drunk Beetlejuice's Beetlejuice? That's a good tongue twister / brain teaser. Hey, Nora Mack.
Normac!
Jumping back in from the very beginning. What's
you.
up? Appreciate ya. Oh, let's get that back up on the screen here as we do the final run of the Supas. What are some of your guys' favorite movies?
No, it's good to see you, Andrew and John.
It's good to see you.
I
Andrew
know.
and John. It's
Good
good
to
be
see you,
seen.
John.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to miss that. Yeah, what are some of your guys' favorite movies? Appreciate the streams, by the way.
Shawshank Redemption, Terminator 2, Judgment Day,
Shadow of
Jaws. By the way, how is Robert Shaw not nominated for Best Supporting Actor? I'll never stop saying that.
all
I would
good.
say right off the top of my head, those are some of my favorite ones. I've probably got many more that I can't think of off the top of my head, but I would say top 3 of those are probably right there. Fun fact, too, that I'm sure many of you are going to disagree with, and that's fine. I acknowledge Dark Knight is probably a better film because of Heath Ledger, but I actually like Batman Begins better. But I still love The Dark Knight with
More of a
passion.
Batman movie.
Yeah, but I love The Dark Knight with a passion. I don't want you to take away that I don't like The Dark Knight. I love The Dark Knight so much. I just like Batman Begins a little bit more.
For sure, for sure.
But yeah, I would say top 3 probably would be Shawshank Redemption, Terminator 2, Judgment Day, and Jaws.
Hell yeah.
Somewhere in that realm. What about you?
Some of my favorite movies.
Ed Wood.
Ed Wood is my favorite
I need to
movie.
react to
Yeah.
it. And we got a Tim Burton movie coming up, maybe.
I can rarely pick a singular favorite, but Ed Wood is my favorite movie. Big love for The Thing, the Before trilogy. Really take your pick, but Before Sunrise, Sunset, Midnight. I love those movies. Iron Giant is a favorite movie.
I need to see Iron Giant.
The original Texas Chainsaw.
Never saw it.
Rob Zombie, House of a Thousand Corpses /
Never
Devil's
saw it.
Rejects.
Never saw it. Saw
there-
Halloween.
Everything Everywhere All at Once. I hesitate
love
due
that
to
movie.
recency bias, but when I
I
watched
love
that,
that
I was like,
movie.
I love this, and
I was
this
crying.
is such an encapsulation of everything cinema can be. And that's probably the most recent one. But yeah, I could go on. But,
I do
but
want
yeah,
to
those
see
are some of
Event
my
Horizon,
favorites.
though. That
I do too. Yeah, Paul W.S. Anderson's one
the
agreeable movie.
director of Mortal Kombat '95.
Why did you say that name?
Hey.
Sorry, Kiana asked for a.
Why did you say that name?
So there we go. All vampire movies. I love to see it. So yeah, leave some of y'all's favorite movies down in
Yeah,
the chat.
no, I'd
and
love
thank
it. I'd
you,
love to hear.
Nora Mack.
Thank you, Normac.
Let's see. We got Dart Car. I want to see.
Dart car, thank you.
Are you a
Appreciate
Dodge
it.
Dart? Is that what that means, or is there a different kind of dart
Does
car?
your car shoot darts out of it? That'd be awesome.
In the new Doctor Who episode, and thank you, by the way, for
Thank you.
jumping into the chat here. What do you think future Ruby was saying to everyone to make them run away? Oh, Mandy is another favorite movie. I love that movie with Nicolas Cage.
Oh, I have to check that one
Mandy
out.
is
Dart
definitely
Car,
one of
let
my
me
favorites.
just start by saying I have not seen 1 second of Doctor Who, so I have no idea who Ruby is or what the extent of the question. So I'll leave it to John to answer this.
I feel like you'd like some of Doctor Who.
I'm sure I would.
You've never seen the Iron? Did you tell me you've never seen the Iron?
I've
Giant?
never seen Iron Giant. Yes.
All right, that bit went awry. That bit did not go as I intended. It's hard to do anything exuberant with one of these headsets on.
I want to see Iron Giant. I know who voiced. I know who voiced the Iron Giant.
Never seen Road to El Dorado
You know
either.
you know who voiced Iron Giant? Family.
Yeah, that's right. That blew my mind when I loved that movie for a long time before I ever realized that was the case.
And I believe Shooter McGavin is one of the characters in it. Christopher McDonald, cited for Happy
True.
Gilmore 2. Check out
True.
Aaron and John. What's your name again? John's reaction to Happy Gilmore.
It's most
if you
people's
haven't.
name, Andrew.
Yes,
It's most
Truman
people's
Show's a
name.
good one. But why don't you answer Dark Car's question when you get it, and then we'll get to my your dismay of me not
It's
seeing
okay.
Iron Giant.
It's okay. Yeah, I just love the chat. The chat's got so many great things, but everyone is a part of the chat, including the super chats. So that's
Yes.
right. Back on topic. In the new Doctor Who episode, what do you think Future Ruby was saying to everyone to make them run away? That's a great question. This is such an interesting episode, and I mean, you can hear the full and complete diatribe on Greg and my reaction, which is streaming as of today. Yeah, I don't know. It's so funny. There's so many great aesthetic elements of the episode, and it's one that I've very much been kind of anticipating and waiting to hear some additional thoughts from other folks. Greg has been talking up Who Culture a lot lately, that channel, and I've been checking out some more of their vids as well in just in light of that, and yeah, it really made me wonder because that's one of those motifs is like. Some mysterious message is relayed that makes people just go insane, or it's just so horrific that they have to run away. And I don't know. I couldn't tell if it was some kind of like paradoxical thing happening because they made such a point of having whatever is being said, be a sort of backmasked whisper sort of thing. So I don't really even have a theory, because it seems like it's about Ruby herself. Which, because it's always, she can't approach the figure, and I don't know. I honestly don't know what it could be. I just know what the function is that it serves.
I like when you say that word because that would be paradoxical.
Well, yeah.
Thank you for coming.
Given what. I won't go into too much detail. I hope I haven't already. But, given what we know by the end of the episode, I am curious. And, I mean, she's always kind of sending people away from Ruby. So maybe it's something that is supposed to bolster, I don't know, because she's lived this. It's so tricky. I don't know. It's because she's lived on the opposite side of this situation for so long. Maybe it is just like the warning to keep people away from her, to keep her isolated so she can stay focused on this mission to avert this nuclear war. I would love to hear some theories, though. Leave it down below. This was an episode that I loved so much of in its construction and in its tones and in like the feeling of it from front to back. And I did leave with some pretty big questions.
And let's also acknowledge Rage John there to my Iron Giant thing, and also that it took him quite a few minutes to react to that, but that was awesome.
It's okay.
It was quite a sight.
Sometimes, there's just so much happening in the chat that I miss a detail.
But then 3 minutes later, he's like, wait, what did you say? You said Martha?
Oh, that's right. Oh, was it during? Why did I say why did you say that name? When you were saying that, maybe it's possible. Aisha, if you are interested in Doctor Who. There are jump-in points, and the Nchuti Gatwa season that's just begun it's been confusing to label because technically it's kind of season 14 of the modern Doctor Who series that started again in the 2000s with Chris Eccleston. Up till now, that includes David Tennant, Matt Smith, Peter Capaldi, oh goodness, what is her name? Oh no, Jodie Whittaker, and now Nchuti Gatwa. That is all is the new era. Then there's the older era that's 60 years worth of a bunch of stuff. This new season, though, they are technically also calling Series 1, so it is sort of a new beginning, even though it is also a continuation. So you could jump into this new season right now.
Not be lost.
Yeah, starting from the Christmas special, The Church on Ruby Road, and not be lost. If you go watch the 60th anniversary specials with David Tennant, that calls upon a lot of previous history. So, I would suggest, perhaps, if you're interested, start the new series at Church on Ruby Road and, see what you like. The thing is, Doctor Who occupies a lot of different tones and styles of episode and certain repeat there's certain. Sometimes there will be a whimsical, fun episode. Sometimes there will be like a bottle episode. Sometimes there will be a horror episode. There's a lot of stuff. Sometimes you're in the future. Sometimes you're in the past. So give it a few episodes to see what your results are, and then if you're liking it, I would suggest then go back to Christopher Eccleston and then fill in the gaps from there, because certainly there's a lot more of that if you want more of that. But this new series I think is a good place to jump in, and I think they've been killing it so far. For the most, not that there aren't complaints, not that there aren't some of the familiar ups and downs that come with Doctor Who, but I've been very struck by, A, the filmmaking alone, and B, a lot of the flavors they're going for story-wise. So it's worth checking out for show. And the combination of Nchuti Gatwa and Millie Gibson, they're so good together. They're great together. Francisco Moro got an Andrew question. Thank you, buddy, for jumping in. Beetlejuice, release the Andrew cut now, Andrew.
Francisco, you look like someone I could relate to.
If John and Greg are into the idea, I would love to share my pitch idea maybe sometime before the new movie comes out.
What I would love is to bring back, we did a segment a long time ago
Yes,
called
I
Greg
do
and
remember
John's
that.
Fan Fiction, or How It Could Work also was another name for it, and that could be an entry.
Yes.
Andrew's pitch.
Yeah, no, I would love to share it. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
But again, if you guys are into it, I know that puts more work on you guys. So
Nah.
no, you just throw it up.
Nathan Lane is always
But
great.
thank you, Francisco.
I've
Appreciate it.
never seen the Birdcage.
I love The Birdcage so much.
Oh.
It's one of my favorite Robin Williams films. Came out in 1996 with Nathan Lane as well as Robin Williams. It was directed by Mike Nichols.
Oh, Mike Nichols. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he did one of my favorite films in 1988 with Harrison Ford and Melanie Griffith called The Working Girl.
Ooh, dude, I love that. As much as we know you for the references to the pinnacle of popular cinema, you also are out here with like the deep cuts, and you know when they came out, who worked on them, like secret cinephile Andrew Gordon, not just pop culture nerd Andrew Gordon, secret cinephile. And also, Aisha, I'm glad you're hearing good things about the new season. That gives me heart because, if you open up YouTube, all the thumbnails would have you believe that just it's woke and everything is terrible and it's failing and everything's on fire. So I'm glad that people are liking it outside of that bubble, because I've been really impressed so far.
But I would love to see you or anyone else on the team's reaction to The Birdcage. I think that'd be a fun one.
I'll add it to the list.
I love that film so much.
A live stream with movie and show pitches for the Reject team. I mean, sure. Oh, with us pitching movie ideas. That would be a fun one.
That'd
Oh
be
my
fun.
God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. We could do like a movie fight, but instead of fighting about movies that already exist, we could basically have two people compete pitching a new movie,
Right.
a new version or a sequel or a reboot or whatever it
Yes.
could be. That is an idea.
All right.
Sam Thomas.
Well,
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you, Sam.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
and
you didn't. I was just saying thank you,
cut off.
Sam.
Thank you, Sam.
Appreciate
Hello,
you.
guys. First super chat.
Aw,
Holy crap.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
If I didn't think it was going to wreck the entire setup here, I would turn on the sound effects and I would air horn you for real. But for right now, thank you for your inaugural super chat. Thank you for feeling compelled to express in that way. I appreciate it very much. We appreciate it very much. How hyped are you guys for the month of June TV? We have The Boys. We have The Bear. We have Mayor of Kingstown and House of the House of the Dragon. It's going to be stacked.
That's a lot.
It's a thick boy.
That's a lot of reactions for John.
That's a thick boy. But
John's gonna be busy in June.
Oh, we all are.
Yeah.
I'm excited very much. I got to catch up with season 2 of The Bear. But what I've seen thus far of that show absolutely has lived up to the hype. Mayor of Kingstown is one I don't have as much experience with. But I am curious, and if that show's like popping off for reals, Jeremy Renner show. Okay,
Love Jeremy Renner.
Paramount Plus original. That's the thing, man. There's like nowadays, it's easier than ever to be like, damn, there's like a whole show with 3 seasons with like a famous cast that I had no idea about. So I'm glad you hipped me to that. I'm definitely gonna keep an eye on it. But yeah, definitely looking forward to The Boys.
I still need to watch season 3.
Oh, it's quite something.
I love seasons 1 and 2 so much. So
Yeah.
I'll probably watch the whole thing right before season 4 comes out.
Yeah.
'Cause that's the whole thing where they release all of them at once, right? Is that what they do with the boys?
The
Or is that
Boys,
weekly?
They've changed it up a few times. I think their recent pattern has been to release 3 episodes on day 1 and then do the rest weekly.
Oh, okay.
So you kind of get like Act 1 of the season to see the
okay.
full picture, and
Okay.
then you go for whatever.
Yeah, and not to get off topic, but I gotta say this really quick. I love what they're doing with the new season of Cobra Kai, where they're releasing it 3 different times.
Yeah, that's cool.
And 5
Yeah.
episodes. It's the final season, so it's like, hey, let's go out in blades of glory here.
Yeah.
So like 5 episodes, 5 episodes, and 5 episodes, and I'm so glad we get to do it 3 different times. So it's like an event.
Absolutely.
3 separate times. It's gonna be so much fun.
And as much in this
Oh.
day and age as like, the binge model is not my favorite, and as
Yeah.
often as we come back to the
It's a
idea
lot
of like,
for us
man,
to do 10 episodes at once.
sure. And as much as we come back to that idea of like, man, think of the conversation if this was a weekly show. It
That'd
is
be
fun
fun
to watch as people experiment. Like, yeah, we get 3 episodes here and then we get weekly, or we get
Sure.
5 episodes here.
That's
then a
more
few months later we
doable.
get 5 more episodes. Then a few months later we get 5 more episodes. Like, it's interesting at least that we have the means to experiment like that the way we didn't when it was just terrestrial television.
Yes.
So yeah, excited, and I mean, House of the
Yeah.
Dragon most definitely coming back. I'm gonna have to do a whole bunch of brushing. Like the boys, gonna have to brush up, but House of the Dragon, I feel like I'm gonna have to go like take a week out and do
You're gonna
like
have to go
summer
super
school.
deep
Yeah,
cut.
yeah. And the Bear, I mean, like we haven't done anything really on the channel. Although on Patreon, I did do just a watch along sync up video. For the one take episode from season 1. But yeah, I'm so excited. Like that's one of those shows that has been kind of like, I'm saving this for me, would be happy to check it
Did
out
we just
on
get
camera.
another super chat?
Got a sticker.
Oh,
Yeah.
a sticker?
It's one of those shows that I would be thrilled to do something with on the channel, but for right now, yeah, I just look forward to for the love of cinema and performance, because everything is great on that show. Yes, sir.
Oh, no, just scroll up a little bit really quick. I just wanted to acknowledge one person. Librarian of Alexandria, happy early birthday, and that
Aw.
June is your birthday month, so I just wanted to
Yeah.
acknowledge.
June babies.
Yes. Yes, this is another June baby, yes. My birthday is a hard one to remember, 7/11.
Oh no! How inconvenient.
Such a difficult one to remember, 7/11.
Well, if you're a June Gemini, Gemini pride. If not, then whatever comes after Gemini, also
Cancer.
good. Cancer. There you go. Oh, secret witchy guy Andrew Gordon. Love a House of Hot D. Don't we all? Fear and Loathing in General. That's a great name. I love that. And that's
Thank
a
you.
movie I
And
don't think
thank
I've
you,
ever
Fear and
fully
Lo-
watched.
I have not seen that. Thank you, Fear and Loathing in General.
Andrew.
Andrew!
Andrew!
Rage John is coming.
Let's
Rage.
go. No, we could do. Well, I
Oh.
don't know. I don't ever want to make any promises because
Yeah.
you never know. But that would be a fun one to do
Yeah,
with you.
I'd be down.
Putting it out into the universe.
Yep,
Fear and Loathing. Legion on FX was
Is that
great.
is that a Terry Gilliam film? Fear and Loathing or no?
Tis
Ah.
indeed. Legion on FX was great. Twin Peaks for Mutants. Wow, I've never heard that as a pitch. And that is for a show I already really wanted to check out at some point. That is a really cool pitch. I've seen a little bit of Twin Peaks, and I got to finish that. And Legion, I've only ever heard great things about, and also Noah Hawley. I've liked some of his Fargo stuff, and Legion looks mind bending in a way that very much appeals to
I
me.
want to see Legion.
Yeah, same, absolutely. Who knows, man? Maybe someday we'll get
One
to check
day.
it out together.
One day.
James Jennings, thank you so much for your
James
contribution.
Jennings. Appreciate you.
Doctor Who related, but do you think who do you think Susan Twist is playing?
I know exactly who it is. I'll let John answer it
And see, that's the thing though too is like we are also kind of noobs in a way. Is she Mrs. Flood? Is that who she is, or is she a different? No. She's on the ambulance. That's right. I'm very curious. I'm honestly, I don't feel like I am qualified enough as a Whovian to really, because yeah, she's been in so many of these. She was Okay, sorry. As I'm looking it up, this is all coming together because she's in the first Space Babies episode. She's in the cafeteria in the Beatles episode. She's also in the church on Ruby Road. I'm fascinated. She's not Mrs. Flood, but she is somebody. I don't know if she's maybe watching out for. She's got to have something to do with Ruby. I feel like because of the doctor's, granddaughter situation and all that stuff, and they acknowledge, that from across, or daughter, granddaughter, yeah, like because they've acknowledged that, I have a feeling that there's some kind of Time Lord juju happening with Ruby, which is probably not a big stretch of a theory. But I don't know. Like it's so fascinating. Like I would love to actually sit down and do a deep dive on who she could be, and if she's maybe some kind of guardian, or if she's some kind of like malevolent force watching out. We've had a few like harbingers of things this season. I don't know. Like I would love to hear y'all's theories, honestly, because we have the lexicon of the recent Doctor Who. We have the new Who lexicon, and we have been filled in on various details over time about the classic Who episodes. But I feel like almost whoever Susan Twist is going to be,
It's going to be a twist.
it's gonna be a twist. But I mean, like, it could be. I don't know. I feel like there's a way she could be Ruby in general. She could be her mom, maybe. But I don't. I don't know. Because is she the old woman off in the distance? I mean, I guess we've already done that. I don't know. Like the problem is, I'm gonna sit here and like wonder out loud and theorize. I'm gonna sit here and ponder this though, and if the further we get in, come back and ask again, because I'm very curious to know, and I love that they're building up these mysteries. And two, who's Miss Flood? Miss Flood seems like she knows a little much. She knows more than she's letting on. So yeah, love to hear your thoughts and theories down below. Andrew,
John.
Chris Sotsek.
Chris,
Wants
thank
to know.
you so much, by the way, Chris. Thank you. We appreciate
you.
your super chat.
James Gunn, Superman. Andrew, do you have thoughts on the new
James Gunn is doing Superman?
Superman.
What?
Yeah, look out, man. Picking up right where Zack Snyder left off.
Yes. My thoughts on the new Superman suit. Initially, again, remember, it's just from a still shot or a promo shot. I didn't love it at first. The more I've seen it, I've grown to like it a little bit more. But again, I want to see it. I'm more of the type of person that I'm going to judge things when I see it actually in motion and in the film or in a trailer. I'm going to judge it a little more, fairly, in my opinion, when I see it. The first time I saw it, I was like, okay. But again, that's coming off like I love the Henry Cavill. Oh, I love him as Superman, but I love that suit so much. So it's tough for me like coming off of that. But overall, it looks fine. But again, I want to see it in a trailer. I'm gonna judge it a little more, appropriately. I think after that. So right now, I think I'm gonna stick with somewhere in between okay and like. How's that?
Yeah, I'm right there with you, kind of. I mean, like, I wasn't that upset when I saw the image at first, and I'm absolutely of the mind that, like, yeah, let's wait to see it in motion. The line work and stuff is interesting, and he's kind of bent over and he's putting his shoe on. I love that people freaked out about the pose. I think it's cool. I like this sort of like quiet moment as he's about to head out. He's getting his suit on or whatever.
Also, he's moving in super speed too.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll wait to see it in action for sure. I saw a thing recently about. I do think there's something about superhero costumes right now that's in a kind of interesting transitional phase, because there is that kind of push-pull in the live-action setting, at least, to not, we're constantly looking over at the classic suit and being like, well, that's silly, but at least we put it on camera. And I saw somebody, maybe it was like a Twitter thread or somebody, where somebody was talking about, they had the shot of X-Men, of Deadpool and Wolverine in front of the shops in that trailer, and basically showing Wolverine's costume like mimicking the stripes, but having to design them as if they have some kind of tactical function. And someone was lamenting the idea of like, oh yeah, these suits needing to look tactical and needing to look like every aesthetic choice is also justified with some kind of, again, functional element. I get that, and I don't dislike the idea of that, but I do feel like that's kind of most of what we're doing now is like trying to really justify the suit in reality, which is good, which is fine, which is certainly in response to earlier comic book movies where we had nipples and all sorts of other stuff. But yeah, I don't know.
understood
Like
that
it
reference.
looks like a Superman suit. I get what people maybe don't love so much right now, but also, yeah, it's like it's one image, and it all
He needs to
depends
throw
on,
it in the dry cleaners. That's what, or
Sure.
to put it in his laundry. That's what they don't like, John.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, but again, I'm going to judge it a little, like I said, a little more appropriately after we see at
Yeah.
least a trailer.
I'm not concerned. It looks fine. Like it's a Superman suit, and I want to see how it gets all messed up the way it is, at least
Yeah.
in this picture. I'm wondering, I guess, if I had to throw down one Susan Twist theory, I wonder if I would be very amused if, I mean, they have that song at the end of the Devil's Court episode about like there's always a twist at the end, and the Doctor's granddaughter character from the earlier series is called Susan Foreman. So one of my, I guess, I'm sure I'm not the first person to levy this theory. This is probably a very noob rube theory. But part of me is like, what if they just hit her in plain sight and they're like, this is Susan Twist, and maybe I don't know. There could be something cheeky in the casting of a woman named Susan Twist to play a Twist character who winds up being Susan Foreman, if that makes any sense. And maybe because, the Doctor left and there's that moment in the Devil's Court where he's like, she's just over there, and we could go see her, but we don't have time for that right now. And like he said he might come back, but he hasn't in so many years. I wonder if maybe that's caused her to take a dark turn due to neglect of some kind, but I don't know. Again, I think there are much more qualified Whovians than I to weigh in. But yes, Chris, thank you so much. What do you guys think of the Superman
Chris.
suit? Doe Eyes, thank you so much for the fist bump.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Doe Eyes.
you
Appreciate
with
it.
the super sticker. Love your doe eyes. I could stare into them for the rest of my life. Christian Unpronounceable. How can Lockjaw...
Thank you, Christian, by the way. Appreciate
Thank you
your contribution.
for keeping on. How can Lockjaw be an Inhuman?
Where's Coy?
That's
we
a
need
great-
you, Coy.
That's a great question. I guess in canine would be a better terminology for that. I think just because Lockjaw belongs to the... Lockjaw's like a dog, like a
They put their
radio
DNA in
dog, like an antenna dog or something like that.
I'm telling you, they did a transfusion, John.
Yes, of course. Who knows? Maybe there's some human DNA in there.
That's what I think.
Who put that genetically altered by Kree centuries ago?
There you go.
Offshoot of humanity. I don't know. Maybe this particular Inhuman just got so many dog genes. That's a great question, and again, neither of us is the one.
We're not
most
leaving till we
qualified.
figure this out.
Sit here
Let's call Coy.
sit here while we go do some research. But that's a good question, and if anybody in the comments in the chat knows for a better fact than we do, certainly leave it in there, and we'll be enlightened.
Great
we'll be
question.
happy to be enlightened.
Seriously, great question though.
Yeah. Paul M. You want to read Paul M. Andrew? Thank you so
Paul
much for
M,
joining
thank
in.
you so much. We appreciate it. Paul M asks or says, "My daughter just joined the show choir at her school, and so we've been watching Glee. Anyone on the crew interested in doing season 1 of Glee?" Paul, I'm so glad you asked that because I have always wanted to react to Glee. So if Greg and John are ever interested, I would love to do that.
I would be down. I mean, like, again, that's another one of those big cultural juggernaut shows that was huge. I remember when it was huge, and
Was
I'm
Grant
sure.
Gustin? No.
Was it?
I can't
Maybe.
remember. Sorry, I didn't.
I don't remember. I remember hearing Grant Gustin conversations, but I'm also like, was Glee on at the same time that The Flash was on? I don't know. But he might be. No. I think he was. I think he was on Glee.
Oh.
I think he was. I think in one of the few episodes I actually did see, he was like at this prep school or something like that. I remember him in a very preppy uniform and being kind of a stuck-up sort of character that was luring in one of our, protagonists, so to speak. But I mean,
he was. Yeah, you're right. I think he's an antagonist on the show. Yeah.
But yeah, I would love to check out some
I
Glee.
would love to.
And even more importantly, just congrats to your young one. That's so
yes.
cool. I mean, Show choir sounds like a quite a fascinating thing to get to do, and I mean, I sang for a minute in the school choir as a child, but nowhere near to the extent of like doing any actual performance-based stuff. But later on in life, I've seen a lot more choral arrangements and choral performances, and yeah, I hope she's enjoying it, and I hope she's getting a lot out of it, and that's a really cool way to tie something, creative in life into just a bonding experience you can share at home, watching some Glee
I love
together.
that comment by Love Being Artistry. Gleejecks.
Gleejecks.
That's
there
awesome.
you go.
Yes.
Hashtag it, and maybe it'll happen. I would love to watch Turner and Hooch as well. Hey,
Ooh, that's a good
we're doing a little more with TV and stuff like that. And Greg and Tara have been covering I almost said School of Rock. That's High School Musical. So could be. And just give all of our love and encouragement to the young one to keep at it with the show choir. That's really cool. Hell yeah! I drove up the mountain once for a show choir recital.
Oh,
It's
very cool.
pretty epic. Up in Idlewild, California.
Very cool.
Also, real quick, how can Lockjaw be an Inhuman? I think Lockjaw is simply regarded as an Inhuman because Lockjaw was like an Inhuman sanctioned experiment, so they just kind of lumped them in there. Unless you're asking like to justify it, like come up with a headcanon that justifies it rather than just like what is the explanation. So again, if I'm approaching this wrong, you can let me know. But yes, who do we got next? We're almost toward
Joseph
the end.
91 Salazar. Thank you so much for the super chat. We really appreciate it. And this time I said your name right without an obstruction in the way.
Oh, that's right. Gustin tried to get one of the characters to cheat. He was a harlot. Anyway. Possible for all of the rejects to do a reaction together. I think it is possible.
That would be an interesting setup.
It would be an interesting setup for sure.
How do we
would
do
need
the
to-
talking on all that?
We would almost need to do it on risers or something. So there's like a row of us here and a row of us here or something like that. We would need like a small theater thing and like a crazy weird. I don't know how we would get us all in one lens necessarily. I think it's possible. I think it would be fun. I think it would
I'd be down to do it.
It would be a one-off. It would have to be a rarity or a one-off, or it would have to ride on the exact right movie.
Let's just do it on the couch. We're all just chilling, watching a movie.
Could be, get a couple couches, stack them, get a bunk couch like in
Yes.
the Lego movie, But yeah, I would love
That'd be fun to do. I'd be down to do it. We all have a great time together, so.
Yeah, it's logistically tricky, and certainly right now, just getting all the pairs, organized is certainly one of the undertakings of each week. And the more people you add to a video, the more editing goes into that video. But I would certainly love the opportunity to do that with everybody and to find. I think that would be really fun. It would be, every time you add one more person, the dynamic also shifts and everything. So it might be a little chaotic with, 10 of us, however many of us are there.
Something like that, yeah.
I should know the number off the top of my head, but either way.
But again, it would also, like I said, I'd be down to do it, but just like I'd be really worried about us talking over each other because you have that many people in one video.
And it's hard.
Whose turn is it to say something? Okay, is it your? That's the only thing I'd be worried about. But like I said, I'd be down to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Be fun.
So leave us your thoughts on what might be a good one to do. I don't know. Charlie 836 again.
Thank you, Charlie
so much,
836. We appreciate you've been here from the very beginning of this stream all the way to the end, and
Holding it
you've contributed
down.
many super chats. So we appreciate you.
Holding it
We'll
down.
have to come to Chicago and do a reject panel there one day
Absolutely.
on the Taylor Swift jet.
Yes, which we have access to.
Yes.
It's
Well,
real.
Olivia's best friends with her, so.
Yes, absolutely. Much love. Much. I don't know what I was going to say. Then much love to Olivia. Much love
Yes.
to Taylor Swift. I guess
Yes.
I just got love on my mind. And hey, any updates on Arcane season 2? Also, please tell me Tara and Roxy are covering Wicked. I don't know. It would be Wicked if they did.
Wicked cool.
I'll throw it out there just as an idea. I have no idea really of any Arcane release information. I know that they released a teaser, I believe, back in January, and the next batch of episodes is supposed to arrive in November of this year. But yeah, I don't really know where it's gonna head in the future, and I definitely should sit down and revisit the first season. But oh my God, when that show was coming out, that was such a striking moment, and it was such a kind of revelation of a show, and especially at a time where the animation industry in particular is going through a lot of tough change and is facing kind of tough times just in general in terms of how these things get produced, what is expected of animators, how they're treated, and what level of commitment and production value studios are willing to put into this stuff. Like Arcane, it was a glimmer of hope, certainly, as its artwork is beautiful and its storytelling is fantastic. So yeah, I mean, I think they got lucky in that they didn't know if the first season was going to be a success, and it was a smash. So I know they said, they wish they could have started season 2 development earlier, and they feel like they're sort of paying the price for that now in the wait that it has been getting to season 2. But
that's cool animation though. Those pictures, I never saw season 1.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's definitely worth checking out. And there's a lot of plot threads and stuff to continue from the first season. So yeah, I haven't heard a heap ton. But yeah, I mean, there's a whole lot in that world. So if any of you guys have some, sage or pertinent updates on that, please let us know. Going to refresh the page one more time
just to make sure
we get the last of everybody in. And
do we have some stickers on there?
We got some sticks, my friend. We got some sticks, Andrew Shige. Yeah. Oh, and we got one Streamlabs. Let's do it.
Streamlabs.
Right here for the end of the day. All right. Leilani, thank you.
Thank you, Leilani.
Thank you for jumping in the Streamlabs. Appreciate you very much for being here. Hi. Would you ever react to Bridgerton on the channel? I think that would be hilarious. I would be down. Again, I love the prospect. Bridgerton is like one of those steamy period piece shows, right? Like I would absolutely love the opportunity to jump into something like that. I'm not kidding when I say I get down with a whole lot of different genres and flavors, and I can definitely get down with some romance. I've been missing romance, either decadent, guilty pleasure romance, or authentically moving romance on screen. And yeah, a high society class, oriented, steamy something or other sounds real fun to me. So, and I know this show has maintained a huge following. So, no promises, obviously, because there's all sorts of stuff to cover. But you never know, and I would have fun doing it. So keep hope alive for some Bridgerton, and let's go on to the final super stickers of the day.
Super stickers.
What we got? Kiana!
Thank you, Kiana.
All the love. Thank you so much for showing up despite not feeling so great. We appreciate you here, and we hope that we've made you feel a little bit better, over the course of these few hours we've been here. And yeah, I just sending all the good juju, all the good vibes, sending healing, massaging energy. Yeah, hope you're feeling okay. And yeah, thank you for the love and for showing up and for always showing up in these streets. Again, like so many of you guys are great at just, finding it and coming out. And even though, again, it's not always like the most in advance announcement, you still find a way. And that brings us so much heart and so much joy. So thank you. Briso Styles. I love this as well. Look at this little lemon guy giving a high five to this little birdie guy. This reminds me of like some Adventure Time characters or something like that. I like it very much. Thank you so much for sticking it.
Thank you so much.
I wish we had like a sticker wall that all these could go on or something like that.
Yes, that would be amazing.
Absolutely.
Super chat sticker wall, Reject Nation.
Super sticks. Well, gang, it's been a fun day of news and commentary.
Wish we could do this longer, guys.
I mean, we could, but, one of us is going to fall over at some point, Andrew.
And John almost did already at the Iron Giant news.
I know. I almost destroyed the set at the Iron. I almost said Ryan Reynolds news because there's always Ryan Reynolds news.
Well, they said he's going to possibly do a remake of Clue.
Oh.
And Clue.
Okay. I could see it. I could see it.
That and Clue. Make more money that way.
It would be, and then we can put your mustache on the poster.
Yes.
Natalie Brooks would love to watch Police Academy 2. And I think the first video did decently, so you never know. I don't know if it's on the books yet. I don't know exactly. Certain franchises are more obvious than others in terms of like how much of the whole thing to do and what the diminishing returns might be. But I would love to check it out, and I'm sure it's at least on the table.
I've seen Police Academy 1 several times. I don't remember 2, 3, and 4 very much. 5, I believe. I don't know if it's a spoiler if I tell you the location, but they went to they went to Miami.
I've seen all the titles.
Yeah,
okay, I know there's a Russia one and there's a Miami one.
Yeah, so Miami. It's not a very good film, but I don't give a crap. I really find that film extremely entertaining, even though it's first one without the main star. And the 6th one. They're back in this. I forgot what the title of that one. I think that one came out in 1989. That one was enjoyable, but yeah, I don't remember too much about that series other than the first one, which I liked. I think the first one was 1984, directed by Neil Israel. I like that one a lot.
Okay. And just really quick,
I'd love to see you guys do more of those. I'll make me rewatch the series again.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good idea. Just real quick, I got a little bit of arcane news to close this out. There is a quote here saying that we've always wanted to tell an organic story about Caitlin and Vi that feels like it's really true to how we see them. How they're and how they've been seen, says creator Alex G. The way in which we wanted to roll that story out has always been sort of determined. What you will see in season 2 will be part of the big picture that we've had all along.
Bring it on.
So even though that they, certainly have wished for, a sooner uptake on season 2, certainly this is all part of a bigger plan for this, sprawling world. And yeah,
I do need to check it out. If my memory serves correct, I remember Chris Stuckman loved Arcane season 1. If my memory serves me correct,
really good.
I will have to.
And we didn't know anything about League of Legends going into it.
I'll have to check it. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah. Well, gang.
Guys,
thank you all for being here.
Thank you so much. This was seriously a blast.
Absolutely.
Oh, Problem Child 1 and 2. Love those movies. I believe 1990, directed by Dennis Dugan. 1991, directed by Brian Levent.
Ooh, never seen any of the Problem Children.
Oh, you should watch those. Those are fun. John Ritter is so great in those films.
Oh, hey.
Then you have and then you also have Michael Oliver is the kid who plays Junior Floyd. Junior Floyd, I believe. His last name, but Junior's his name. And I'll never forget the tagline in Problem Child 2. He's bad, she's worse.
Not bad
I'm telling you, these taglines in these 90s films and even some of these 80s films, they are so damn memorable. That's why I remembered the Me, Myself, and Irene tagline.
Yeah.
Gotta bring back these amazing taglines.
That's your Mad Men moment for the movies. Like, every time I see a good tagline, I'm like, I can see the Don Draper pitch for this.
Yeah, and also, too, last one before we get out of here, Jaws 2, just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water. Like, that's... Whatever you think of the film, like that's a great damn tagline. Like
that one is one of the ones that has spawned like it's a format now. Like just when you thought it was safe to is like a reused tagline now because of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is absolutely a prolific one. Gang, Natalie Brooks, Christian Unpronounceable.
Charlie 836.
Charlie 836, Star-Lord 7, the Librarian
Bucky
of
Barnes
Alexandria.
ATL.
Aurelie Frost, bonsoir. Have a good rest of your night. Thank you for tuning in from France. That's so
awesome.
Cool.
I would love to go to France.
I love it. Always amazes me and
we need to
fills
go
me with
international.
joy to see just how many different places people tune in from and comment from.
It is cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Cajun, Leilani. The Shy Guy Matt, who else? K.N. Kiger for sure. Bucky
Francisco
Barnes,
Mora.
as always. Francisco Mora.
Love Being Artistry.
Sarah W.
Matt Colton. I
Joe.
saw a bunch of comments from Matt.
Oh, yeah, Matt Colton.
Colton,
for
sorry.
sure.
My apologies. Matt Colton.
Absolutely. Seattle K.O. Code
Natalie
Cinemaestro.
Brooks. Saw a lot of comments from Natalie.
All you guys.
All
I
of
mean,
you. We
I wish we
appreciate
could
y'all.
get everyone's name in
Yes.
here, but seriously, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for helping guide the chat. Thank you for your thoughts.
And really quick,
opinions.
Matt Colton, I understood that reference. This time it's really personal. Jaws 19, Back to the Future, Part 2, 1989.
Absolutely.
I understood that reference.
Reaction
Thank
to
you,
Jaws
guys.
19. It's coming your way. Get ready. But yeah, be well, gang, and we'll catch you on the next one. Keep your eyes out for whatever movie news might be coming up next week. If there are any stories that you are particularly jazzed about, throw them out at us on social media and whatnot. And
Yes.
yeah, thank you all for your generous contributions.
Thank you,
for
guys.
guiding the chat. And yeah, if you feel so inclined, leave a like on the video, give it a little share if you want to. If you know somebody who would get into it, it always helps us out just because, again, these streams, YouTube is just a little finicky about how it shares them around and whatnot. So yeah.
And who directed Jaws 19? So disappointed in you. So disappointed in you.
Needles did.
Max Spielberg.
Oh, Max Spielberg.
Come on,
Chet
John.
Hanks directed it.
There you go.
Chet Hanks.
Thanks, guys,
Doing
for
the
joining
work.
us. We appreciate y'all.
Yeah, thank you, gang,
so much.
and we'll catch you next time. Andrew, flex for the camera while I stop the stream. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Get that bicep going. I just got to check the main monitor so I know that you're actually doing it. Okay, good, good, good. Much love to you all, and we'll catch you on the next one. Be well, party people. Cheers.
Party on, dude.
Party on, dudes.